What are you talking about? You know?
What you make of his comments, the Mexican thing? I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, like, well, I'm a flat-footed Mexican fighter. Look, if you're calling me a Mexican fighter, I find that as a compliment, you know? What are you talking about? You know?
What you make of his comments, the Mexican thing? I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, like, well, I'm a flat-footed Mexican fighter. Look, if you're...
I'm your teacher. You have to pay attention.
Hey, cousin.
Yeah?
Is it pink?
Yeah, it's Pepto-Bismol pink. Do you want to taste?
Uh-oh, you okay?
They ain't want to see me win. I was trapping by myself. I was getting out the hood. I didn't have no help, yeah. Cause I'm really getting up, yeah. I'ma skirt off in the...
Oh, shit.
What just happened?
Oh, my.
Yeah, what's up, babe? You know what time it is, Frank Bay, special edition. Wanted to come lock in, salute Isaac Bermudez. What's up, man? Yeah, we had a interesting live yesterday. You know, we're talking about the downfall of Wakanda, and Deontay Wilder had some haters, left some nasty comments, and yeah, man, Eric Gomez, Bomb Squad. Sorry, man. Sorry to hear what happened to Deontay. But you know what, man? He gave boxing fans some entertainment. Salute. Yep. But I wanted to switch gears. You know, let's get back to real boxing. You know, as you can see on the thumbnail, we got Canelo Alvarez and we got Ryan Garcia in some deep water. And I just wanted to talk about boxing, a couple things that I noticed. Like I said, you know, people were upset. You know, they get upset about your boxing takes, right? It becomes very polarizing. You know, YouTube, social media can be very toxic when it comes to these boxing takes. You know, people get very upset. Eric Gomez, my cane was the first body on Egg Roll Monster Zane. Yeah, man. I mean, down goes Wilder, man. You know what? It's over. I don't think we'll ever see him again. He made a lot of money. His fans are coping. They're talking about he's a Hall of Famer. There's no way in HELL hockey sticks that he's a Hall of Famer. But, you know, people can believe what they want to believe. You know, but boxing moves on, man. I mean, legends, they come and they fall. Every legend has a downslide. You know, they end their careers bad. Shout out Sobers. I was talking on his stream. Check him out. We were talking boxing. And moving on to Canelo, it's like, what should Canelo Alvarez do next? You know, is he going to fight William Skoll? Is he going to fight Edgar Berlanga? Is he going to fight Terrence Crawford? You know, one thing I'm noticing in the boxing world, and why I really wanted to do this live, is like I said, it's very caustic, it's very polarizing. You know, people are leaving nasty comments, and that's fine. Really disliking the video because I'm talking about their King Wilder. And I get it, you know. And that's one of the things I noticed in this YouTube, in this social media, Twitter, is that it's very polarizing. You know, you can side with the black fighter, you can side with the Mexican fighter. You know, you have these channels. You know, they use Wakanda. They said that I use Crip, and you know that it's very racial. It's very, they accused of racism, and you know, I just wanted to address that and say that you know, I don't condone or promote that. If you notice, my last stream was about Cattle Raw and Josh Taylor. Had nothing to do with race. We're not talking about black fighters or Mexican fighters. And then before that, I did videos of Usyk and Wilder. I got a lot of hate for that too. So you know what, man? It's just no matter where you go, what you do, you're gonna get a lot of hate. Whether if you big up Canelo, if I down Canelo, it is what it is. But man, like, comment, subscribe. Gotta hit the like. I'm dropping the Cash App. I have a Cash App if anybody wants to support Frank Bay. And I never really did that. I never really wanted to or thought about it. But, you know, like I'm saying, as I'm getting the hate and I'm thinking about it, you know, I'm like, you know, we got to show these guys. You know, there's not a lot of us out there who speak up. I'm a fan of boxing. You know, the guy was trying to bait me and get me to say some racial slurs or whatever. And I'm not going to take the bait because I don't promote hate speech. I don't do any of that. And I wanted to address that. I'm here to talk boxing. I love boxing. As you can see, I cover the entire sport, every nationality, every racial group, from the higher weight classes to the lower weight classes. And that's one thing I noticed, is that it gets very toxic, very ugly. People are very supportive of their fighters and they understand. So, if you want to support Frank Bay, drop a cash addy or whatever. I noticed these other guys, that they hate on, they support these guys. And I just want, they come at the chat. That guy said that my chat is racist and I don't do anything about it. And you know what, man, we need to show them that we need business, nerd, please no UFC talk. Well, that wasn't me. That was, I don't know if that was a Muck or Sobers, I let people say whatever they want. But yeah, man, cash out Frank Bay. Let's show them that, we get support out here. That's how we're going to grow. That's how we're going to keep doing shows. It lets them know that we mean business and that, we're going to keep it going. Because if not, man, without the likes and the subscribes and the cash apps here and there, they think they're clowns and they get on my show and say a bunch of shit about me or my chat. And, I defend you. They were talking shit about BDA. And I said, BDA does his own thing, has a great channel. He lets everybody talk. So I guess when you let everybody talk, it's a problem. What's the saying? When they do it, it's not a problem. When we do it, it's a problem. Now that guy, he hates on Canelo endlessly. He says he steals Canelo's pay-per-views and he's offended by terms that I use when it fits him perfectly. He admits to stealing Canelo fights and he hates free coach. He's not a coach though. That's the interesting thing. I think the guy's a clown. But yeah, man, hit the like, support, hit the link. I dropped the link. Look, man, I'm here to talk boxing. I want to continue to talk boxing. So we need to show support and show these guys that we're not going to be bullied. I'm not going to be bullied or slandered and made to stop talking. I'm going to talk about issues. And you know what I noticed? And these guys like Edward is, they're making this big thing about the Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark in the WNBA. She's like the most famous, most popular athlete, and she's a white girl. She's taking a lot of heat. I guess the black athletes are beating her up in the game. And, who knows why they hate her? Is it racial? Is it because she's white? Who knows? But, the media, the news, they make everything very polarizing, and they do make it a black and white issue. And I think boxing is kind of becoming that. I refuse to do that. I'm just going to tell you what I see on social media and what I see in the boxing world, and then let the facts speak for themselves. Frank, the tank guy ain't no door, no boxing. Yeah, man. Yo, Slim Schnitty, what up, Sarge? What up, So Passive? Haven't seen you in a minute. So, I'm just going to call it how I see it, man. I'm not going to take any sides. I'm going to call it how I see it. I let people on to people can talk shit to me. I let people talk shit, but I won't take slander and accusations that are baseless. And, guys like that, they get mad, I think, because I'm speaking the truth and it hurts. They don't, the guy admits to stealing fights. But I'm not here to talk about that. I just wanted to address it. You can see it. Go look at this Caitlin Clark situation. She's a white female WNBA player, and I guess the black players are attacking her ruthlessly, and they're saying it's because she's white. I don't know. I don't follow the situation, but I see the way the media spins it, and they are trying to create a racial divide, or is it people? I see the same thing in boxing. If you go to different channels, we say things like Wakanda, and that guy, he goes to this guy, Coach Malachi, who uses that, and they actually send death threats. They always talk about pulling up. So Frank Bay's not with any of that. I'm not going to pull up on anybody. I don't want no beef. I mean, I have the YouTube beef. We talk shit, but I don't condone anybody pulling up. I don't condone hate speech or racism. Like I said, I abide by the YouTube community guidelines. But yeah, man, you guys got to support. You got to hit the like, maybe cash app, once or twice to let these guys know that we're here, man. And I let everybody have a voice. But let's talk about the Tank Davis fight. I'm going to cover everything today. Caneloalvarez is back in the news again because they want to know what his next move is, right? There's a lot of Canelo news. The biggest news is Ryan Garcia. And why I hopped on the live, why I want to do this is it's very interesting that a Tank Davis fight is coming up. Tank Davis is fighting Frank Martin, and then David Benavidez is on the undercard, and there's like zero hype. It's insane how there's literally zero hype for Tank Davis. Yeah, he's okay. I don't know, man. You know what? I don't have a problem with anybody in YouTube. I don't listen to very many channels. I've seen the bias and the divide, and I stopped fucking with it. I only fuck with the very few channels, and I do this shit because I didn't like what I seen. You know, fake ass coach got exposed. That's right, Ryan. Yeah. So this is what I'm saying. What I noticed is that you know, boxing is very polarizing. Blessed, highly favored, Seuss Taylor. Ryan is a clown, man. Ryan is definitely a goofball, and I'm here for it, man. It's highly entertaining. Ryan Garcia does his own damn thing. You know what? Ryan Garcia sells fights. It is what it is, man. Let's get the likes up. Hopefully more people come in. You guys gotta like, comment, subscribe, and share. You know, maybe drop a cash app, and you know, we just blow this shit up, man. I want to grow the channel. I'm hopeful that, you know, they're saying Frank Bay don't have a lot of subs, I don't have a lot of views, but I do. If you look at bigger channels and their views, and you look at me, a small channel, and the views that I get, you know, for at one time, it is very equal. So I know you guys definitely support. I know you guys definitely like what you hear, and I'm happy. I let everybody come on. So if you want to talk shit, talk shit. So let's talk about Canelo Alvarez and Ryan Garcia. And why I bring that up is because, you know, Bud Crawford is going to fight Matrimov. Who else? Usyk and Fury just fought it, and that news is kind of over. They're going to rematch. But you know what? Canelo Alvarez always takes the headlines. And that's what I'm saying. So you go to these other channels that are, I guess you would say, you know, people call, they're like a letter alphabet group, pro-black. And, you know, their biggest news story is Ryan Garcia. You know, what boxing is right now is controlling the narrative. That's what it is, man. It's a lot of weaponizing the media to, you know, create a storyline, right? You know, you gotta sell a fighter, you gotta sell the story. And right now, Tank Davis, you know, there's no buzz. And I don't think there will be. And I'm trying to wonder why. And I'm like, you know what? It's because nobody knows who Frank Martin is. You know, they were forced to put David Benavidez on the undercard. You know, people are making videos about the Benavidez, Canelo ducking Benavidez. Well, excuse me. I'm seeing on social media that he's ducking Bud Crawford now. I don't know. It's very hard to believe what you see on social media now. There's so many rumors and lies, and people run with it. You know, they're talking about an Oscar and Golden Boy card, and who knows if that's gonna happen. So yeah, man, it's just a lot of rumors. You know, most of it is fake. I mean, what is it? Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. Isn't that the same? Ryan, the LDBC favorite boxing. Exactly. Thank you, Eric Gomez. You know what I'm talking about. So they have their fighter, Tank Davis. I think he's the last one standing, right? Spence is beat. They don't really fuck with Crawford like that, and he hasn't even fought. Who else? Wilder's done. They don't want to talk about that. They're literally doing 5-6 hour lives on Ryan Garcia. They're getting $100 cash apps. They're getting hundreds of dollars every show because they're bashing Ryan Garcia endlessly. It's all, but and they try to spin it and say that, oh, that's how you know Devin Haney is the face of boxing, because everybody wants to talk about Davina Hanke. And how everybody's talking about Ryan Garcia. So what's next for Ryan Garcia? You know, what I've seen on social media was a proposal that Oscar had, or if it was Oscar, is that Teofimo was Ryan Garcia. David Benavidez ducking Morrell. Yeah, and David Morrell went up to 175 to take some. Goes Crawford ducking Boots. Well, he didn't. He's not ducking. He already did. He said that he will not fight the guy. He doesn't have to. It's not worth it. Boots and his brings nothing to the table. Yada yada yada, etc. etc. The U.S. media, the boxing media, they say nothing about it. They don't blink an eye, and they're okay with it. And it's like, okay, you know, fine, that's good. Yeah, I mean, back to Ryan Garcia. You know, this whole thing, Ryan Garcia has pretty much stolen the headlines. That's all anybody's talking about, and nobody really cares about a Tank Davis fight. Now, the fight in itself is okay. Frank Martin is a decent opponent, But the fight that people really wanted to see was a rematch with Ryan Garcia. They want to see Tank Davis fight Devin Haney. Now that's blown up. Or they want to see him fight Lomachenko or Shakira Twitterson. There's a fight they want to see Tank Davis fight the top guys, and he's clearly not. And he's back on pay-per-view. He's actually hasn't fought since last April, so it's been over a year against Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia has went on to beat Davina Hanke. I believe it did anywhere from 500, 600 pay-per-views, depending on who you believe. So it was successful in the sense that, I think you don't know the numbers. Sometimes the numbers are fabricated. Sometimes they're close to the truth or very far from the truth. But Ryan Garcia is a proven seller. So this Tank Davis fight is going to be very important for him and his bottom line, and see if he can even reach near what Ryan Garcia did, because Ryan Garcia is proven. And that's the thing, man. Ryan Garcia, got hated. Well, they say he quit against Tank Davis. A lot of Mexican Americans, they were doing the whole Mexicans for Haney thing, and you can go on social media and find these guys. I thought it was corny. I never went down that route. I was always fucking with Ryan Garcia. I said before the Tank Davis fight, I thought that he could be the face of boxing, and it turns out very close that he is a face of boxing. He's he's next up. Let's put it this way: if this thing were to happen, his stock would have skyrocketed through the roof. He would definitely be the next face of boxing. This Pounds guy said Haney is Raza. Come on, man, say it ain't so, brother. Mexicans for Haney and Mexicans for GG are cucks. Yeah, look, man, it's fandom. You can't hate what fans like. GG was a beast. That was Canelo's probably best opponent ever. GG was Triple G was number one pound for pound. But the whole Mexicans for Devin Haney thing, I never got. Devin Haney is a classless a-hole. He was saying he'll never lose to a white boy. He was going on these channels and talking hella shit. Lomachenko ducked him, Teofimo ducked him. His whole career was a fraud. Even leading up to the Ryan Garcia fight, if you want to watch old lives that I did, I said it in the beginning, the guy was overrated. I never liked him. Pillow fist, fought a bunch of cans, older fighters. And, I was proven right. And Ryan Garcia proved me right. And now it's the Ryan Garcia saga. He released a rap video yesterday. It was okay. And I just laugh at Ryan Garcia. Are we laughing with him? We laughing at him? I just think it's funny. It's the polar opposite of Canelo Alvarez, as you see the thumbnail, the picture. Canelo Alvarez is a class act, right? He carries the sport of boxing on his back. He's the last guy selling pay-per-views. And a lot of these people are jealous. They really hate Canelo Alvarez. But you know what? He carries the headlines. There's one thing you cannot do if you cover boxing. I don't even cover boxing. I'm just a fan that has a YouTube channel, right? The one thing you have to account for is Canelo Alvarez. He's going to stay in the news. The news is him getting stripped, fighting William Skull. You know what I mean? And there's people saying that he's ducking William Skull. He's ducking Crawford. And obviously he's ducking Benavidez, etc., etc. But he stays in the news, So what's next for Canelo Alvarez? Are you guys, put a 1 if you're Canelo Alvarez fans. Put a 1 if you're Canelo Alvarez fans. That's the call to action. Just like hit the like. Look at the screen. There's a Cash App. You want to support Frank Bay. But Canelo Alvarez, he's probably the last face of boxing. So Eric Gomez is a fan of Canelo Alvarez. Now, let me go a step further. Will you still be a fan if he fights William Skull or Edgar Berlanga? Because we got to be honest. If he fights Edgar Berlanga, he's going to get slaughtered. He's already been slaughtered, right? He's already the most hated man in boxing, right? But if he fights Edgar Berlanga, we know it's the end. Now, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what the other channels and what social media is going to say. Nerd Juan. Not a bad fight. I agree, Sergeant. I want to see Berlanga get his head knocked off. I do. I definitely want to. Look, if Tank Davis can fight fucking Hector Garcia, I don't understand why Canelo Alvarez cannot fight Edgar Berlanga. It just makes sense. Long as it's not pay-per-view. Well, if he fights Edgar Berlanga, it's going to be pay-per-view, my guy. Alfredo. So put a 1. If he fights Berlanga, if you're a fan, do you support that? Will you buy the fight? I'll say this. If he fights Edgar Berlanga, I'll buy the fight. I'm not gonna buy a William Scope fight. I gotta be honest. Sergeant, yes, Bud fought Avanesian, that's true. And it was on pay-per-view. And nobody batted an eye. In fact, I seen all the American Cup media say, oh, I'm gonna support Bud Crawford. If you're a fan, support him. And he sold like 15K pay-per-views. So, I don't understand where all if you look at there's like 1 million Bud Crawford fans, he beats Canelo. But I don't see the support, and that's the difference between Canelo and all these other fan bases. Is even the Benavidez fan base. I actually bought Benavidez fights, and that fake coach, all these guys, they come over here, trash Canelo, they say big up Benavidez, but they'll tell you they steal his fights. So I can't understand the discrepancy. So it passes. I'm a big fan, but if it takes those fights, I'll be disappointed unless he fights immediately after, and not make us wait until May for another fight. That's a good point. Okay, Passive. So what you're telling me is that if he fights Skull, he'll take the September date, but he has to fight immediately in December. Is that what will make you a fan again? Ghost, knock off mandatory, then fight again in December. Yeah, you know what? Canelo has fought 4 times in a year, 3 times in a year. I believe after the Yildirim fight, he came right back and fought, or was it after a big fight? Then he fought Yildirim in December because it was like a whatever fight. And I don't know too much about William Skull. It seems like nobody knows who this guy is, but somehow he can strong arm Canelo. Canelo should fight 3 times a year minimum. Yeah, but that's just not the way boxing works. Even Fraud Mayweather in his heyday only fought 2 years. Exactly. So I answered you correctly. But are you guys ready for the backlash? And then that's what I mean. There's going to be backlash. Look, man, Canelo's going to get backlash for whoever he picks. And if it's Berlanga, there's going to be a lot of backlash. It's going to be very hard to defend a Berlanga fight. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. Now, me, like I said, I want to see him kick Bud Crawford's ass. I want to see him kick Berlanga's ass. I want to see those things. I'm a fan of fights, So passive. But Benavidez can't be a hoe when it comes to negotiations. And I don't know why the Turk is gay for Crawford. He should be making Canelo versus David, not Crawford. Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. But you know what it is, man? I don't know. I see it different ways. There's like a conspiracy theory. There's like logicality. What's next for Canelo? What's not next? Benavidez better be a B-ball Crawford. You're saying all those? So Adam Hurley, hit a 2 if you hate Caneloalvarez. I'm not mad, man. Like I said, it's free smoke. Hit the like. William Skull Crafty can beat Canelo. Izzy, Sergeant. Man, that's a hot take, buddy. Hit the link, man. Drop on. Give me a shout out, brother. Jump on, talk your shit. What do you think Canelo Alvarez should do? What's next for Ryan Garcia? They're talking about a 2-year ban. They want to see him. They want to see a lawsuit. They want to take all his money. They want to ruin Ryan Garcia. Davina Hankey's fan base, they're so hurt. What up, sobers? Hit the link, buddy. Pal, talk your shit. Just doing a live, man, doing an intervention, trying to, revive boxing, bring it back to life. Yesterday's stream got a lot of hate, a lot of haters. You know how it is, man. So, I want to talk about real boxing, people were mad. I talked about Deontay Wilder. They got very upset. But we know what this YouTube boxing community is, But I don't know, man. I'm trying to keep it down the middle, talk some Ryan Garcia, Canelo Alvarez. What's next? And why I say, and people say, oh, you're a Canelo dick rider, you're a Ryan fanboy. It's like, no, they're literally carrying the news, right? And me trying to do a show, or other people trying to do a show, go look at it. You can only talk about 5 fighters. Are you gonna? Who's actually fighting this weekend? And it's pretty funny. It's Adrian Broner and Blair Cobbs. Now that's gonna be a fun fight. Never sober, door no boxing. Ghost, are you Dora? Are you Dora's brother? Nobody likes Dora. Nobody likes Dora. I mean, I'll listen. I'll let him talk. He knows boxing or somewhat. He's a hater, but I don't mind because he's funny. You know what I'm saying? Funny like watching Bugs fight. Canelo versus William Skull would be weird. At least go Berlanga. I exactly. At least Berlanga is a name. Look, William Skull's not getting the fight. He's just not, because I don't know who's gonna pay for it. Who's gonna give Canelo Alvarez 35 million to fight William Skull? Now I could see Eddie Hearn or Turkey Ali giving Canelo 35 million for Berlanga. I mean, it could happen. Remember Canelo Alvarez was supposed to fight Jermell Charlo, or the older brother Jamal, and but the zone didn't want, that was in the contract. The PDC, Al Heyman, did not want to pay for it, so he linked up with Eddie Hearn, Oscar, the zone, and he got Jaime Munguia. Right, he bought Jaime Munguia as an opponent, and he worked with the zone. He's actually a free agent, so what does Canelo Alvarez go? What does he do? William Skull's gonna take over the game. Okay, now you're just trolling, Ghost. I know you know boxing. Come on. If Canelo wants to keep his belt, he has to fight him. What do you guys think about that? Me, I don't care if he keeps. Look, man. You know what, man? When it comes to boxing shit, this is entertainment, brother. It's entertainment for me. I just want to see some fights. I don't really get into the political, racial divide. Going for one fighter. I really don't want to make a channel about just one fucking fighter. You know what I mean? That's boring. But if I look at my views and I'm looking at people, what they're interested, I'm talking about the undercard salute, thank you technique. I'm talking about the undercard, talking about Nick Ball. Nobody really cares. So, but when you put Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia in the headlines, sometimes Tank Davis, Tyson Fury, Alexander, Anthony Joshua, did a video by Anthony Joshua, got a lot of hate for that. Kane Wilder, got a lot of hate for that. Even when I do Canelo streams, I get a lot of hate for that. You know what, man? The boxing community is very toxic, but I like it. I just love boxing, man. And I fuck with you guys. I know you guys know boxing. Inui, I should do shit on Inui. He gets a lot of views. How did Skull become mandatory? He's a nobody. Just politics. It's just boxing politics, It's Teofimo's fighting Steve Claggett. I mean, who the fuck is Steve Claggett? You know what I'm saying? And Shakira Twitter sent a champion. He's fighting Harbinusian coming off a loss. I think Gabozdik is gonna beat Benavidez. I mean, you know what? I'm a Benavidez. That's the dividing thing. I'm a Benavidez fan, brother. I'm at, he's half Mexican, Ecuadorian. They say he's all Ecuadorian, Mexican monster. He's not even the Mexican monster. He goes by El Monster, I think. You know what I'm saying? That was something that Mike Tyson gave him. And Mike Tyson, Jake Paul was off. I never believed it was going to happen. So, you know what, man? That's boxing, man. There's always some fuck shit, And that's the other thing about boxing. It's very hard. Look at, we thought we were on the Ryan Garcia train, and now look at, he might not fight for who knows how long. Bud Crawford, after beating Earl Spence, hasn't fought. Tank Davis hasn't fought. And that. So, man, how can you do boxing content? I think that's why people do the drama shit and they do the race baiting, is because sometimes boxing shoots itself in the foot. Actually, though, this is a big month for boxing. Xander Zayas is fighting this week in a big step-up fight. Shushu Carrington is fighting, and they said Inui's going to be there. Yeah, Skull can't fight at all. Benavidez would actually roll better B if he really would. You think so? Well, look, man, I mean, look, due to age, anything's possible. Better be if what I seen from B-Ball against Zinad, I seen Zinad kind of touching the B-Ball a little bit. B-Ball actually stood and traded with Zinad and got him out of there. But he really didn't want to do that. It's like he needed to make a statement. But he can't do that against Better Bia. So, yeah, man, but talking about the B-Balls and Better Bias, that's not going to do it. That doesn't really get the juices flowing. And especially here in America, you know what I'm saying? Oh, come on, Bay Area. We know that's you or you're someone close to him. He's not a coach, man. He's a hater, bro. He's an absolute hater, and he's doing the slander. Better be if KO Benavidez like he did Joe Smith. Yeah, a lot of it's going to depend on how Benavidez looks at 175. But let's keep it real, man. Let's salute Solo Dolo. Thanks, man. I haven't seen you in a minute either. Hit the link, man. Hit the link. Hit the like. Drop your boy a Cash App. You want to show Frank Bay some support. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Benavidez should Canelo Alvarez fight him? Yes, Canelo Alvarez should fight him. What I always thought was that they were building the fight up. But I'm not here to talk about Benavidez. You know why? Because Benavidez is fighting on Stank Davis' undercard. So all this talk about Benachichis, man, I'm a fan of him. Like I said, I like the plant fight. He kicked Dudu's ass, Dudu Andrade. Okay. But he hasn't done, he's been out for over 6 months. It's like, bro, you can't build a fan base not fighting. You just can't. You gotta be consistent. You know, these newer fighters like Emiliano Vargas, he's fighting 4 or 5 times this year. Who else is very active? I want to say Tio's not even active. Shakir's not active. Who's like an active fighter, man? There's really none of the top fighters are necessarily active. You know, even the heavyweight fights, they're not active. I guess AJ's being active. Do we got somebody? Jose's. Yes, Jose.
Yo, what's good, man?
What's up, man?
How's it going, man? How's it going? Oh, I didn't know you have a YouTube channel, man.
Oh, yeah. You're from Mr. BDA, right?
Yeah. I've been like Mr. BDA and Busho show like sometimes.
Well, I'm here. Welcome, man.
Yeah, I'm like you know, come to YouTube when I'm bored and shit. Like I came out of work at 2 o'clock, you know, take a nap, make some coffee, and you know, woke up and so I linked in the Discord. So I was like, man, let me get some support to my boy.
Oh, right on. Thank you.
Anytime. So what are we discussing today?
Well, I covered what Deontay Wilder losing yesterday. I thought it was good for boxing, but today I'm on Canelo Alvarez and Ryan Garcia. So it's up to you. You know, Tank Davis is fighting, but there's no buzz. So I thought I would see what the fans want to see from Canelo Alvarez. Like, are you a Canelo Alvarez fan? Do you agree with his moves? Do you think he's ducking? I mean, just let it all out, man.
Honestly, man, I'm not like a Canelo Alvarez by any means. I'm one of those guys, like, I respect a lot of the, you know, what some of these boxers do. But, like, being a fan, like, no, I never be, like, a fan for, like, another boxer or something. Honestly, man, I think Canelo, I don't know if he wants, like, a whole bunch of money from, like, you know, the Saudis or whatever, but I think that's the plan. But I don't know, man. I think he's ducking Benavidez for real. Like,
oh man, I'm about to boot you, brother. No, I'm just playing.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
No, I know. That's why I do it, bro. I want to hear everybody, whether you like me, hate me. I don't, you know, this is why I do it, man. Go ahead, say why you think so. Did you think he's always been doing it? Is it just recently? Like, what makes you think this?
To me, Canelo, he just turned into like a little bit of a diva. You know, he has like a little transgrowth in him. I think he's, you know, I mean, in his own respect, but I think Canelo's been a little bit of Americanized. You know, he's not waking up with these slick pajamas, you know, as we see in the picture. Oddly enough, yeah,
good point. Right.
Yeah, like I think, you know, I think he's also sitting circus. He wanna pretend like he wanna do whatever he wants, and I think one of, you know, just to give the benefit of the doubt, I think he just don't want to be pressured of, you know, he don't want to be pressured to do anything, which I get it. You know, as soon as, you know, I don't know how old are you, but as soon as somebody starts telling you to do something that you probably will do anyways, you will be like, nah, man, don't tell me what to do. So it's a little bit of that too. You know, I'm not trying to defend him, but, you know, to me, both of them are ducking each other also, because Benavidez, supposedly he has he's not the number one contender. He's the mandatory, right?
Not even. He moved up to 175. Now I think he may still be. Go ahead.
But I mean, like he is, right? Like he was supposed to be, right? But let me explain you what's going on. Yeah, but let me explain you what's going on too.
Yeah, explain.
The WBC, right? You have to actually demand that fight. Like, it won't come like by the WBC. You have to demand. It's like the money in the bank type thing. I don't know if you watched any WWE, like the Money in the Bank, like guarantee you like the title whenever you want. Like the fighter can be like dead after the fight, and you just like showed up with with your suitcase. I want the title now. Uh, it's kind of like that, but the fact that he haven't enforced it is kind of suspicious to me. Also, like you can enforce it, but also, and that's something that people do not understand, right? Benavidez, if he wanted a shot, he kind of sort of lost it. Again, I'm not agreeing with you. I'm just telling you what I heard. Because I know like people within gyms, right? And the thing is, when he had the chance, he didn't fight like somebody who was actually ranked, or at that particular sanctioning body. Like he was supposed to fight. But what's the guy who Canelo beat? Like nobody cared about. Yildirim.
Yeah, that was Yildirim. Yep.
It was like one of his 1,000 sparring partners, oddly enough. Yeah, like, because that's the guy who I think who took money aside or something, and he was supposed to be the mandatory years ago, and then he finally did it. But him and Benavidez, they were supposed to fight an eliminator, and Benavidez refused. That was when Canelo did the whole run in 168.
Yeah, no, I mean you bring up excellent points. People have brought those points up, but no matter how much you bring up the points, they say that he could fight Benavidez if he wants to. Like it's never gonna go away, right? Like let's just be honest. It's never, whether you're a fan or you're not a fan, it's never going away.
I mean, it also could be the slightly chance that they want to build like on some type of like Mayweather. Like cooking the fight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Benavidez is part of that circus, like the PVC thing. And they like to do that shit since like that success that they grabbed from the Pacquiao Mayweather, which was a horrible fight, by the way,
Well, didn't they sue Pacquiao for not disclosing that he had a shoulder? There was like a class action against Manny Pacquiao because they claimed he had a shoulder injury that he did not disclose.
I mean, yeah, but I'm gonna tell you something though. Like, I love Pacquiao, man, but Pacquiao is one of those guys, bro. Like when he loses, he give you excuse. Like,
damn, you're shitting on the legend, homie. What do you go by? I'm sorry, sir. What's your YouTube name?
Oh well, when he fought Jose. I mean,
Okay.
I go by like Severino Junior here, like or Junior, but I go by when he fought Jeff Horn, because I'm one of those guys who like stay after the the after fight interviews or whatever. And Manny Pacquiao is one of those guys that I always love to like hear like when after the interviews. He never left. He just did like a man, like these guys that just run away or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, nah, he was like a real man, like a real gentleman, Like we lose or draw, he would stay there, say whatever he said, even when he got sparked out by Marquez. He was just happy as hell in the press conference, like, "Hey, what's that? He has a good fight."
My promoter, Bob Abraham.
I embezzle money for the Philippines.
You're right,
No,
though. He was a class 2, man.
no, yeah, but that was like when the men's were men, But Pacquiao, Pacquiao, when he lost to Jeff Horn, he said he had like a bad, I think it was a bad knee, and he like threw himself to like the water, like salt water, like he fixed it himself. Then when he lost to Ugas, it was like he one of his leg. When he lost to Mayweather, it was his shoulder. Like that's something about him. Like he all of a sudden he will say something. But I always gonna respect Pacquiao because I actually like met Pacquiao and a whole bunch of other fighters. And I can tell you myself, I was like 16, 15 when I met him. And when you're 15 and 16, like your body's not fully developed, you look like like you just look weird, like. But oddly enough, like me and Pacquiao, we look kind of the same. Like, even though it was like at the time, like I was like a bantamweight or something. Like, like how small I was. Like I was like a bantamweight. Like.
Okay.
Between bantamweight, super bantamweight. No, I was like between super bantamweight to a featherweight, which anything between like 120, because I'm not sure if he's like a 2 pounds over like the pros or something. So I was like around like 131 to down to like 124 or something. Yeah, something like that. So like Manny Pacquiao's a small dude, like and he big guys, big ass, yeah, he beat big dudes, So that's why I respect him.
Calves. He's got like humongous calves.
Listen, Manny Pacquiao is the guy that you look after, not like in boxing terms, like technicality, because he used to box all wrong, but because he was gifted, he's one of those guys who used to like face the canvas, like put his head down, facing the canvas, you know what I mean? Like he used to do a lot of shit. He used to do a lot of shit you're not supposed to do, but he was gifted that way. He was just gifted. And Manny Pacquiao is the example they have to take, not because of the technicality, but when it comes to like, doesn't really matter how many losses you have, man. You can still be like a good fighter. Manny Pacquiao retired with 8 or 9 losses, and you still would have picked him among like the top welterweights,
And he's talking about coming back against Mario Barrios. That's the rumor. There's rumors on social media that he's coming back against Mario Barrios. I don't know how true it is.
Yeah, it's because he owns a whole bunch of money in taxes, and and he's trying to like make some. I don't really think he's broke, because you can like do like statements, but he's a guy he don't want to be bothered with. And something that I heard, like my best friend's girl, she's from Philippines, and people don't really like him over there, like because
already, damn, that's fucked up.
No, it's because like the whole thing, he was a boxer and now you're a politician, doesn't really fit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, people are gonna hate you no matter what you do.
Yeah, and the thing about the Philippines is like a little island with a lot of potential, economically, because they have a lot of resources, and they kind of sort of like waking up to that fact. We like bro, we have like a limited amount of rice, we have a limited amount of food, a limited amount of dogs, and
wow.
So yeah. Was I supposed to say that live?
Nah, you can say whatever you want, man, as long as it's no hate speech. Certain words. You just can't say certain words, if you can say it like, in a certain way.
Yeah, like flaming, like
yeah, no, you can't say that, man. You can say it in a way.
Okay. I can say flaming cigarette butts.
Yeah, if as clever as you could be, man, that's how you get around it.
But anyway, man, like with Canelo and Benavidez, I'm kind of like tired about it. It's like more things I'm aiming to. Like Canelo is becoming a thing of the past, in my opinion. Like that Benavidez and Canelo fight,
thing
like
of the past.
Yeah, if you pay attention, bro, like anything, like everybody pay attention to anything else. Like we talking about Deontay Wilder, like up and down. Like we don't really mention like Canelo right nowadays. After that Munguia fight, everybody forgotten about it.
Kind of, in a sense. What do you think of that fight? Did you buy it? You don't have to tell me. I'm just asking because, people like you're saying are kind of getting off the Canelo train. Be honest.
I have one of those like fire sticks. I barely buy fights, man. No,
fire stick boys.
Hell yeah. Like here's the thing. Like I go to many like live fights. I was at the Devin Haney fight. I was at the O'Shaquie Foster. I was at the Better BF last year. I saw Teofimo Lopez against Josh Taylor. I'm gonna go to see Zayas at the Hulu Theater because I live around like the area, like I can go.
Okay, you're gonna see Xander Zayas versus Teixeira.
I mean, honestly, I'm thinking about it because I mean, no disrespect, but like when it's like a Puerto Ricans and stuff, it's always like a whole bunch of like dudes smoking weed and like hood dudes and.
But I just don't want to be involved that.
Yeah, but it might be different because when I saw Berlanga against Steve Rose, like, Brad, it wasn't chaos.
Oh man, Berlanga attracts that crowd, though, the hip hop crowd, right?
Right, it's like the fucking Bronx came out of it, bro. Like,
but Xander's like a good kid. He's like a goody two shoe. That's how.
No, he is. I think they're putting all the chips in because Sexeda is I think he only lost like once. Against
I think he beat Carlos Adames, if you remember who he is.
Yeah, when Carlos Adames was struggling to make the weight at the time. I don't give him excuses just because he's my compatriot. I'm Dominican, by the way. Like I actually met Adames,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, again, like I grew up around a lot of these guys. Like my mentor was, I don't know if you know, Joan Guzman.
I remember Juwan Guzman. Yep, he was a
Yeah,
slick
yeah, he was.
southpaw.
Yeah, I mean, he was an Orthodox, but he was like my mentor, like growing up, like one of like the guys, like
Isn't he
you
a
know,
trainer now? I think
yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
training guys.
He's training guys. He has a lot of businesses in the R. Like he only do this because he likes boxing. Like he
Okay.
actually parlay his money well in the R, you know. And that's the thing. Like at the time, boxing was not really developed in the R. Like now it's getting like more out. Shout out to the guys to Shout on Boxing, which is a developing league in the R, which is coming good. It's becoming
Mhm.
the little Mexico for a lot of developing leagues.
Yeah, a lot
It's
of Dominicans have come up lately. There's Adames. There was I want to
yeah, because
say
it's an option. It's a good
Edwin De
option
Los
for
Santos, right? De Los
yeah.
Santos.
Nah, even De Los Santos is nasty, bro. Like he's nasty. Like I sparred that kid, man, and he's fast. He's precise. The only thing he's missing is like experience, bro. And I was kind of shocked when they put him against Shakur. Because I'm gonna give you some
Right.
dimes, man. Shakur,
Okay.
since I'm from around his area, right? His
Uh-huh.
uncle is based on the from the WBG gym in Jersey City, right? They all comes from like that tree from that gym. That's like the wild card in New York and Jersey in the
Okay.
WBG. That's where Coach Anthony's based from. The guys for
Yeah, that's the
different
guy
regions.
who's he coached Ford who just got beat. Yeah, I
Yeah,
seen him.
the guy the guy with Calvi Ford, not Calvi Ford, but the guy who's always with him. He's based from there. Uh, when I say based from, it's like where they learn like most of like the tricks. Like if he, like like the crop of like coaches underneath like store and like you have like all those disciples. Like they do a lot of the same shit. But anyhow, Shakur is a guy, man. He's been protected like all his life, man. Like he won't let anybody that like represents a threat in the gym. Like he always gonna handpick his people. And one time we were like in camp, like I'm talking about like borderline 10 years ago, and he got hurt to the body. Like we just showed up and we got kicked out immediately because he got hurt.
He was
Like he
sparring
didn't.
one of the guys you were with, and he got hurt, and they kicked you out.
Yeah, the whole group, because we were like part of the training camp, and like they just kicked you out because somebody hurt the guy. It wasn't me, but
They told not to hurt him. Is that like something that people tell some
no, I
like?
mean at the end of the day, I get it because he's somebody who worth money. He's giving millions to this kid to box, so of course you're gonna protect your asset. But at the end of the day, you're making money from this kid. You better protect him. Like
That's true. I agree with that. But you're
and
saying that he's protected in the sport too, though. Is that
yeah,
what you're trying
everywhere,
to
man.
say?
Yeah, because remember he's with Jay Prince. And Jay Prince, he's more of he's like the Al Heyman of boxing, pretty much. And, like, he's pretty much Al Heyman, but like on the managerial side, like he will handle you like an artist, pretty much. He will give you like the same flow as an artist. If you remember the early days of Mayweather, he used to do the same shit, like like do stuff like a rapper would do. All of and then the association with 50, putting two and two together, like.
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
of that guy, Jay Prince. He was managing Mayweather, I think, at one time.
Yeah, he oddly enough he managed another guy who was kind of shady in the sport. What's the name? Andre Ward.
Did he? I thought he was with fuck. Was he with Gary Shaw or the Goosens? One of those guys. I didn't know he was with Jay Prince also.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, some of those guys they're like under like somebody, and they're like just umbrellas. Like for example, TMT is an umbrella is a company under the umbrella of PBC. Like so on and so forth. So you're gonna have like little developmental leagues like that. That's all they do, because if you peep, they don't really have like a TV network or contract, but
Right.
So they, it's like they like one of those guys who get you fighters for like the undercard.
Okay,
That's
like
pretty much yeah, that's pretty much what they are. Just like Mayweather.
just grabbing guys from the gym. I've seen that before. Just guys that are in the gym and they'll call them up, and these guys go fight everywhere.
Yeah. I'm not saying Shakur's record is like that, but a lot of the guys' records is like that. Like Boot Ennis, like especially him.
Yeah. I mean, how is it that you never heard of the guy until he was already like 25-0, and then they still were protecting them? It doesn't make any sense to me.
I mean, Boots Ennis always had like the because the thing is he's from like an area from Philly, like a lot of also basketball players come around, so he's always being associated also with like Showtime. And the thing about Showtime, it was associated with some like YouTube shit, like and that's how he got associated with the guy used to play basketball, this knucklehead Steven Jackson.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. He goes he fucks with those guys.
Yeah, so his associations, he's more of a like a sublet of hip hop. Like you will see him in more YouTube videos than like actual fights.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yep. He's actually fighting a step-up fight at 30-0 or something like that against Cody Crowley. Have you seen that guy?
Honestly, man, no.
I've seen him. He's kind of a slick guy. He's kind of a back foot bitch. I don't know if you ever heard me use the term like back foot bitch.
Yeah. Like that's something like is used at the gym as well. Like used especially by Mexicans. Like because
the
Mexicans,
because
Mexicans when you engage, they're gonna call you a bitch right away. Like
yeah, definitely.
Like that's something that Mexicans do. Like they're gonna call you like down the line. The American crowd is always the one who's gonna give you excuses that no, it's because you don't know. Like bro, like come on, like
the sweet science, man. That's what.
Nah, they're always gonna use things like sweet science. I'm different. What's the other shit? Sweet science. They use another shit though. Slick, Baron tactics. To me, all that shit means you're a shady fighter. Like you are shady, not shady, a shady fighter.
You're saying shady, or
yeah,
shitty?
like you, shady, not shady, shady.
Shady, okay.
Yeah, like when I heard slick, Baron tactics, and tricks and shit like that. What I heard, like somebody who hit with the elbows, duck below the waist, hold. That's what I actually want to understand. Like when I hear like slick fighter, I don't hear somebody like really technical, in my opinion. Like they use those terms for like Devin Haney, and these guys. They don't use it for like the actual slick boxers, like with your high guard and coming forward and not getting touched, like better beef. They don't mention those guys as slick.
No, that's an excellent point. That's one of the things we point out here. Yeah.
Like those guys aren't slick, huh? Like
I think when you're talking about the style, you're talking about the slick style, jabbing, grabbing. It's more like it kills the action.
Go
ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, it kills the action. I agree. Yeah.
It slows down the fight. It's like when you watch they love Andre Ward, but when you watch an Andre Ward fight, you're just bored to tears. It's boring.
Because the thing is, here's the thing though, they're not actually boxing fans, man. They just highlight watchers, as I call them, highlight watchers. They don't gonna tell you nothing about the fighter, only how he looks. You know what I mean? Like for example, again, Shakur Stevenson. Oh, he's the most technical. But when you watch Shakur Stevenson with a boxing eye, you understand this dude does a lot of shit wrong. That and he fights like a old Mayweather,
An old Mayweather.
Yeah, they don't even fight like old Mayweather against Canelo, because that's the thing that they're gonna come with. Like, but when he fought Canelo, yeah, we all type of PEDs. And,
you could see his head was massive against Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah, but to me, they fight like Mayweather against McGregor. Like that's how they fight.
Right.
And it's embarrassing.
Just
like
snail pace, slow.
Yeah, and it's embarrassing.
Not a lot of action.
And
I
it's
mean,
embarrassing because they have like the talent. Like, listen, I'm gonna challenge Shakur a lot, but he's a guy who like he has a lot of physical tools. You know, he has a good hand speed. You know, he has good reflexes. But he's one of those guys that again he reminds me a lot of Devin Haney. You know, like if you put him against somebody like your own size, he struggle. I'm gonna give you an example, Consenso. All of a sudden, you know, you see how like usually he acts on the weigh-ins. He usually laughs, doesn't take his opponent serious. He mocked them like Oscar Valdez because he knew Oscar Valdez he's a midget. Like he knows. Like when he fought everybody else, laughing, giggling, gee, but all of a sudden he was mad nervous against Consenso. You know why? Because the whole build-up, he didn't say nothing else than, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck you up, I'm gonna fuck you up, I'm gonna fuck you up." And with De Los Santos as well, he got mad nervous because he saw De Los Santos didn't give a shit about his presence. You know, he was just like making fun of her, like Shakira Streeterson. Like
that's what he likes to do is tweet all the time. Yeah, you know, he steps back, he jabs, and then he jumps back. That's something that people highlighted. He does this. He like literally was jumping back, like literally like a bunny rabbit jumping back. People don't want to see that shit, man.
Like they
people
want to
see you fight, engage.
They say like, oh, like, but it was this guy who didn't close the ring. I was like, yeah, but when you have somebody who's actually running, what the fuck you gonna close out? The dude is like taking 5 steps away. You know, like it's like James Harden. He's like actually jumping. You know, he biting all De Los Santos fans, and all of a sudden this is got the supposed to technical superstar, right?
That's what they say. They say that that's a master class. That it's the sweet science, which
the dude haven't dropped
not
anybody other than like the dude that, you know, if
the Asian dude Yoshino or something like that, like in a completely pathetic fight.
Yeah, but he didn't stop him. The referee stopped him. And also the dude was hampered from the beginning because his training staff wasn't allowed to like come after like the week of the fight. So that guy was hampered from the beginning, you know. I'm not saying
oh damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's all smoke and mirrors. And the dude wasn't
I'm glad you're saying this, man, because yeah, if nobody hears this, then they think these guys are the next level. They're the next Mayweather. It's like I've always said, man. They're desperate for the next Mayweather.
Well,
Devin Haney got his ass kicked. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give you an example. You see, like previous any fight of, you know, any top ranked fighter, they're gonna put the last previous fights, right? Or you know, the fights are like under the name, like ESPN or whatever, because they don't want to hit the copyright, right? All of a sudden, they didn't put his performance against that kid. You know why?
There was no highlights, right? It was like zero.
Exactly. They were just lowlights.
Lowlights.
Like they're gonna put highlights from like when he was at 126. You know, like.
Yeah. No, I mean, and he's fighting some guy Harbanusian that nobody's ever heard of. Have you? Well, I mean, maybe hardcore, but nobody that I know talking about that guy.
Again, I never bought into like, oh, he's gonna be beating everybody from like 130 to 147. It's like, what? The dude can't even hurt a 130-pounder guy, and because the thing is, again, they was gonna compare these guys to like Floyd. Floyd was blowing kids out when he was in the lower weights, man. Like,
at least, yeah. I mean, he was doing that.
No, because we should give Floyd his respect. Like, he was a generational talent. He became a bitch after, you know, he beat De La Hoya. But other than that, man, he was a gifted athlete. Physically, he was abnormal because he was like 5'7". I had like crazy ass reach, like, you know.
Right.
That's another point though. He never fought somebody with a longer reach than his. Never.
Yeah. Same with Bud Crawford. That guy has like some insane amount of reach.
I mean, with Crawford, I kind of sort of get it because it's like, yeah, though, like you're not gonna get somebody like, where he came from, 130, like 135, like nah, come on, Gamboa won't do it.
Oh no, I mean Crawford's been fighting guys that he's had the physical advantage his entire career.
I mean, I feel sorry for Crawford in a certain degree, you know, but at the same time, I don't because of his fans.
Feel
Like
sorry for him. Why would you
I,
feel sorry for him?
I feel sorry because like at the time when he was a welterweight, like all the crops of welterweight was at the PVC, so he couldn't
Right,
touch them.
yeah, that's the story. Uh-huh.
And he actually sent contracts to these guys. Bob Arum did, and they all declined it on some, we're gonna do everything hands type shit. And that's when they started, bringing up this dude, Spence, and that's when they start like building that fight up, that bullshit ass fight up. Like, and
Now, do you think or Crawford has a chance against Canelo Alvarez?
no. Oh, by the way,
Not.
talking about that fight, real quick. If that fight happens, listen, I own a big ass apology to Manny Pacquiao. I do.
Oh, okay. Explain it.
Cause I was one of those guys who was like, yo, this guy should be in PEDs, bro. Like he should be.
Who should be on PBs?
Manny Pacquiao. Cause I was like, when he moved up to like 154, I was like, what? To fight Margarito, De La Hoya. Well, he fought De La Hoya 147, but I was like, this small ass dude? Nah. All of a
Oh,
sudden, like
okay. Yeah.
his cranium got bigger, like I
Yeah.
remember Manny Pacquiao in the low 135, 140, he didn't have much power. No, at 135, he didn't have much power. All of a sudden, at 140, 147, his power is back.
I mean, that's what they were saying. They said that he was definitely on. Well, Floyd Mayweather and that whole crew, they were saying he was
The thing
definitely
Listen, my
juicing.
brother is one of those guys. He's always been bitter. Like he's one of the guys who wanna be the shooter, but he didn't want anybody to do it as well. Like how many times we seen Mayweather come with that fucking AB, man? On the Berto fight, on the Pacquiao fight, and I think on the Canelo fight as well. Like, come on. I gotta
Yeah,
respect
no,
the
I
shit
mean
out of
it's
Floyd,
obvious
man.
to see. Yeah, if you watch Floyd Mayweather, he got strong as fuck out of nowhere. Because when you watch
Uh,
the Canelo fight, he was definitely fucking big as
what
fuck,
what do
strong
you
as
think he
fuck.
never? What do you think he never flew out of Las Vegas? What do you think?
That was said too, because he was getting IVs. He was getting an exemption, right, for IV use.
The IVs and the whatever thing he injected into his hands, that it was only legal in Las Vegas. You know.
Right, that's the other thing. Yeah, he was getting injections because he had brittle hands. They were always breaking, supposedly, allegedly.
Yeah, it's because he started moving up in weight, and his bullshit technique was getting his hands like brittle. Because the thing about Mayweather is like he's also one of those guys that he used to take care of his physical gifts and drop a lot of the techniques. That happens to everybody who throws a lot of arm punches, like Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. They ended up with their hands because they throw a lot of arm punches. Like
Uh-huh.
you're like an old baseball player. Like you're not twisting your hips anymore, using your legs. You putting everything on your back.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, and they slap a lot. They're not closing their hand. They're not. So yeah,
Exactly,
their hands are
exactly.
very fragile. Yeah, that's one thing I always notice about Davina Hanke. He has poor punch technique. He doesn't commit. You're supposed to punch through the target, and when
Man,
he punches, he's actually like stepping
when,
back.
whenever you see Devin Haney punching, I've been boxing for, I'm 30 years old. I used at the beginning of the year. I've been boxing since I was 8, so it's 20 plus years, right? 22 years. So whenever I see Devin Haney, I'm not saying I have the most knowledge or whatever, but quite frank, I know what the hell I'm talking about, right? But, Devin Haney, when you see his back foot, he never has his feet planted. He always has like the tip of his toe when you see it, because he's already either of the tip of his toe or not touching the ground. So you have no weight on it. You know what I mean? And another thing is his front foot. If you do it right now, you're standing up and you know on your boxing stance, and you see your knee almost at the same level of your toes. Almost covering. Like that means like most of your body weight is there. That's why like you see fighters, doing like mid setups, being in the fight, coming like back and forth because they shifting their weights. Kovalev used to be a master of that. That's why he used to punch so fucking hard. Like whenever he, you get into his area, he put all his weight into the front foot, then into the back foot for his right hand, and then back again with his, front foot for the left hook. So he always won't hit you with his whole body weight. Kovalev, I'm talking about. So he that's why they call him the Crusher.
Yeah, I mean that's what you learn when you're hitting the heavy bag or hitting the mitts. If you're with the coach, he'll have you turn your swing. It's from the hips and the legs. You have to swing like swinging, but not like a crazy. Not windmilling. Go ahead.
Yeah, but that's that's boxing. These guys, they're not doing any boxing. They just
fencing. They're fencing with fists.
Yeah, when was the last time you saw these guys with a double land bag? When was the last time you saw that?
That's a good point. I seen it with pool noodles.
Yeah, Canelo, as much shit as I gave him, his training camps, they're actually really good. I actually enjoy more seeing Canelo training than his fights, to be honest.
Well, Canelo, he actually trains everything though. Like he builds his body, he's doing sit-ups, he's doing neck exercises. Like I think he really has it down to a science. He actually builds
Listen,
he uses all the bags though too, right? Like when there's the uppercut bag that you hit.
Yep.
Go ahead.
The water bag. Yeah. He hits everything. The pad work, the shield. He had all his work is implemented for like the way he fights.
Right.
He became more a striker than a boxer. If you peep, that's why like people been saying like he doesn't throw a lot of punches. Yeah, because he's become a striker. He's more like a striker nowadays. But the thing is, he doesn't really move a lot because you don't really need to move a lot in fucking boxing. Like you can stand on your own square, bro. Hit movement, moving your head just like he does. Pairing the punches with your gloves. And in reality, you don't get punched much. What's this guy's name? Winky Wright is one of the good examples.
Yeah, Winky fought from like a high guard behind a wall. He basically made his gloves a wall.
Yeah, but he wasn't standing just like Benavidez. He actually was moving around. He moved on the same square, but like side to side, just like James Stoney. On the booth, because you can sit on the booth with your high guard, or long guard, or well, not long guard, but bear claw guard. That's something that Crawford uses a lot.
Yeah, I think the whole movement, like, you want as little wasted movement as possible, and that's what Canelo does. They say that he's not active, but like you're saying, like you don't need to be active if you're basically draining your opponent's energy. You're just making him drain, moving, jabbing. You're gonna tire somebody out that way.
The thing about a lot of guys, they fight with the egos, so they think because they look nice, they're gonna impress their opponent. Oh my God, how impressive he looks! Like, nah, bro. Like the Triple G and Daniel Jacobs was a good example of that. And then you put somebody who fights just like that, like Derevyanchenko against Triple G, and he almost take the fight against fucking Triple G. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, that's how a lot of people, when they watch boxing, they'll look at a guy like Triple G, like you just mentioned, and he's stationary, he's flat-footed, and that's because he's just not moving around dancing. And they'll say another guy, and they'll be like, he's dancing, he's moving, he's gonna out-slick him. But Triple G's just fighting patient. He's fighting. He knows he can thump you out of there. There's no need for him to get all like flashy, and pot shotting.
Listen, Triple G also used to have a underrated shoulder roll. Even Canelo said it himself. Like that's why it was so hard to grab him with the right hand. Cause you used to, like, just parry it with your gloves, moving down and up, and a little bit back on the same square. If you picture it like in your mind, you put your hands, by your cheeks, and you're moving, up and down, uh, back and forth, moving your head, not being a stationary target. Some of the hits are gonna get you, but you're just gonna hit your gloves or parrying, Nothing's gonna get through like 100%. Then you add, a little bit of a shoulder roll, which is used to Golovkin used to do for the right hands. He used to just get on that shoulder just for the right hand, just lean back, shoulder over, and step back in, back on the front foot.
Yeah, it's very subtle, but it's mostly for just breaking you down, getting you to get nervous, anxious, because he forces you to either stand and trade with them or burn all your energy running.
It forces you to actually box. No. Like, for example, you remember, I don't know how old are you, but it's also like away from my, from my age, Roberto Duran. That motherfucker started at lightweight and he ended up his career at like light heavyweight. And he used to get victories up there.
Yeah, I've seen the highlights. Yep.
Yeah, so you know why? Because he was an actual good boxer. He was in the ring with every fucking Hagler. Like small ass dude, like 5'5", 5'6". Their presentation of a Pacquiao nowadays. But he wasn't a beast athlete like Pacquiao, because Pacquiao is like LeBron James. If you shrink him, if you put him in the dryer, like he's just a beast of an athlete. He's just crazy how fast and powerful this little kid moves. But well, not little kid, that little man moves. But
well, yeah, Duran had just extremely gifted power, but you still have to combine that with boxing ability.
I'm gonna give you an example, Frank. I don't know if you're familiar with the term peeling a jab. I don't know if you're familiar with it. The point of peeling a jab is like I throw my jab, when I come back, I mimic like a parrying your own jab. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know parrying.
No, yeah, but that's like peeling the jab, like the whole sequence of peeling a jab. You're throwing your own jab. When you're coming back, you're acting like you're peeling a jab with your other hand like really, really tight to your sheet. Because you can cover, if you like crouch on your backhand, you can actually block the right hand as well, like cleaning. You crouch yourself behind your backhand. I don't know if, when you square up, you can guard like right hands, and then you're peeling the jab when you're coming back. I don't really think you see fighters doing that nowadays. They either jab and step back, like 2 steps back, or they jab and slip. And I don't really see many slips nowadays on like head movement.
Oh, slipping head movement? Yeah, no. Most fighters want to fight at, well, they call it mid range now. But
again, yeah, just like Devin Haney got caught. He didn't move his head at all.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I don't really like. Here's the thing, man. I don't really like technical terms, or it's just because, like, man, to me, just the way I was taught boxing, or the way I watch boxing, like there should be a method, and usually the jab sets the tone as far as measuring somebody, distance, and then reflexes. So you establish the jab to get your distance.
That's true.
That's the first thing you should be doing.
That's true, but just the peeling the jab thing, you're just taking your jab away from the beginning of the fight. So Duran used to do that. He used to get in the inside. He used to make the jab useless. That's why you have to either knock him out early or like hurt him early, because you have to like throw all the whole, his entire plan away.
Well, he did a lot of head movement. That's another thing. Like you have to have a lot of head movement.
That bopping and weaving.
I don't know about bobbing and weaving, but just kind of like side to side. Just like if a guy's trying to establish a jab, you throw it off by just slipping underneath. That's when you use the rope. Like I hated the rope. Like I hated bending my knees, because I like to fight tall. I don't like crouching. Like these Eastern Europeans like b-ball, they really extend their height. They just fight off the kind of back foot, but they fight tall. Um, go ahead.
That's funny that you mentioned Bevo though. Like Bevo, he is, what you're gonna call you can call like him like a slick fighter, right? Technical fighter, whatever. Even though I always think his footwork is not as much technical, his footwork just to me, is good just for the same reason Lomachenko's footwork is good because he's dynamic. But anyhow, he's a guy who doesn't really rack a lot of knockouts, but I still like to watch him fight, because he's active. I see punches flying, he's busting noses. Like at least, I see punches strong, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Bivol to me, his best thing is he set the pace.
Yes.
He's going to make you work, but it's not necessarily working your punches. You're kind of trying to what's the best way to explain it, man? Just like someone pelting you with spitballs. Like you're just trying. He's getting you ready for the jabs and straights.
I think what you're trying to say is like Bevo is like a guy who like first he won't let you do whatever you're trying to do. He won't gonna mess up your plan, and then he's gonna make sure you don't do anything else than my pace.
Exactly. He wants to set the pace. So if he notices you're gonna sit down on punches, he'll sit down on punches, and he wants to. And if you want to bounce around, he'll bounce around. He wants to set the pace though, and that's very big. Go ahead.
And the thing I like about Bevo, and you're right, is that he won't mind get hit to get his. If you saw his last fight,
he does. He was trading, yeah.
He just because here's the thing, Bevo is there to be hit. It's just you're not gonna hit him flush, Like when you hit him flush, you actually can see it. Like Johan Smith caught him. Like you wanna see him, he's hit flush. But the thing about him, you have to like caught him, like time him, because he's an fighter at the end of the day.
That's his pace. His activity will offset your. So if Beterbiev wants to crowd him, he's just gonna bounce. He's gonna move, but he's not gonna be like a bunny rabbit. He's gonna try to get Beterbiev to throw more punches so he can counter. He doesn't want Beterbiev to get active. I don't think he wants Beterbiev to let his hands go. So he's gonna have to. Well, but because Beterbiev needs to be set. One of the biggest flaws but greatest fighters I've ever seen was Felix Trinidad. He was just such a dynamic puncher, but he had to be set. He could not get off if you moved. The slightest movement threw him off. I mean,
like the Soviet style.
Go ahead.
You have to be perfectly aligned, like Klitschko. If you're perfectly aligned, night for that right hand. Like if they had you aligned, bro, you're done. Like you're done.
That's Beterbiev. He has to be set. He and that's what like Lomachenko. One of the greatest attributes if I've ever seen a fighter is can he punch while moving. That's what made Lomachenko great, is that he can punch while moving.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Not a lot of guys can do that nowadays. You're right.
I'll tell you what, Canelo Alvarez could do it. Canelo Alvarez, in my opinion, can do everything. And let me just finish this point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that Canelo Alvarez can punch while moving. Like if you watch Billy Joe Sanders, that's how he stopped him. Is he was able to kind of turn and hit him with like a fucking basically a power shot, but from a hook. It was almost like he had turned his body and got extreme leverage on that shot when he broke his orbital bone.
It's no doubt about it. Like Canelo is a complete fighter at this point. Like he's a complete fighter. Like he can both backwards, forward, in the pocket, long range, mid range.
He's short. He's short.
Massively
He's short and has short arms against these taller, longer range fighters.
I'm gonna give you an example though. He has the same reach as Devin Haney. He's smaller than Devin Haney.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I met Canelo a couple of times. I'm 5'7", dog, and we like eye level. His body is massively bigger than mine because I'm a lightweight. Like right now, my walking around weight is I would say I'm a fighting weight. At least I would strive, but I'm around right now like 137, 138. So imagine how massive his body looked right next to mine.
Yeah, he's got a big back.
Yeah,
he's got a wingspan and a back. that is, paws massive.
And that's funny. Like I met him first time when they did the workout like here in New York. I met Triple G as well. Well, Triple G I met him like way before, but in a tournament when I was a kid. But I didn't know what the fuck he was. Because he used to say like his entire name. I'm the one. I was not gonna say all that shit. But yeah, Canelo. Wait, hold on, because my dog is playing around with it.
No worries.
Be a mute.
Okay.
Go ahead, say something, because I'm gonna be like a mute for a minute.
Oh yeah. I will say this about Bud Crawford. He's kind of a complete fighter because he can punch while moving, and that was the biggest difference. Earl Spence is a good fighter, but he can't punch while moving. You take Tim Tszyu, he's a straight up and down fighter. He can't punch while moving. Who can't punch while moving is Inoue. But if you remember Inoue, he leaps a lot. Like you take Bernardo Lopez, Navarrete, if you watch when they fight, they actually leap a little bit. They try to get in the position because their footwork is not at the top tier level. Let's see, get to some comments. Guys, hit the like, comment, subscribe. If you want to support Frank Bay, hit that Cash App. Ryan should fight Cambozo for his tune-up. I don't know, man. He would get paid in Australia. But let someone mug. Thank you, fire. Yes. Canelo is 5'7.5", isn't he? Yeah, man. People say he's shorter. Some people say he's 5'7". But look, man, he's fighting a lot bigger guys, and his best attribute, believe it or not, is his footwork. Canelo knows how to fight at angles. When people talk about footwork, all footwork really means is punching at an angle.
Yeah, and your position. Like
let me just finish. One of the greatest knockouts you'll ever see is Bernard Hopkins knocking out Felix Tito Trinidad, and I'll tell you why. You go watch the 12th round when he finally knocks out Tito. He's actually punching from a left-handed. He threw a hook as a power shot, but he was left-handed when he threw it, and it was because Bernard Hopkins works on pivoting, a lot of pivots, and he's able to punch you at an angle. So go ahead.
No, yeah, you were about to say like almost the same thing of besides like the Bernard Hopkins, but it was like almost the same point. It's just like I'm gonna just come with another thing though. Canelo also knows his foot placement. I was gonna explain you why. You know how like when you fight an open stance fight, right? Like a southpaw against an orthodox, you're trying to like get the elite foot dominance, right?
Right.
But when you fight somebody with your same stance, orthodox against orthodox or southpaw against southpaw, you have to put your back foot outside of your opponents, and you're gonna have the same angle. But it's hard to do because you can see the foot. So that's the actual foot you have to like be mindful of, and make sure like your opponent is not getting into the front foot. But the point is, you can hide it well, like when you hit like the guard or like blind your opponent. And Bernard Hopkins, the guy actually you mentioned, used to do an expert at that. Like he used to get at the angles, his back foot, or because how Lomachenko gets like on his front foot, but you can do the same pivot when you stick your back foot out and going, to the power hand of your opponent, or vice versa. But going like to that side. And that's an also blind spot, but it's hard to get because if you do it without a distraction, you're gonna get rocked. And
that's the danger too. Is excessive movement and pivoting. You'll also be out of position to punch. Now the main thing I was talking. Go ahead.
No, just real quick. And something that you're not really supposed to do technically is pivot on your front foot. Go ahead.
No, yeah, because you'll be off balance.
Off balance, and you going towards the punch that's going forward. Like if you pivoting like on your southpaw side to like your right, and without keeping those hands busy, your opponent can catch you with a nasty left hook, like because you go actually going towards the punch. You know what I mean? So you're going you going towards the against the rotation of the hook, so it's gonna spin your head. Oh no.
Yeah, you can watch. Well, as you were saying that, I'm thinking of a fighter who's very good footwork and pivots. Is Teofimo. Now watch
Yeah.
Teofimo fights. He looks like he gets blasted because he's always off balance. It's like Teofimo hasn't learned the difference between footwork and how do you say this? Like unnecessary movement. He needs to figure out when he wants to sit on his punches and when he wants to look flashy.
The thing about Teofimo is like he's getting a lot of like it's gonna sound horrible, but he's getting a lot of like hood training. Like he's a guy, if you put a plan behind him, he can implement it perfectly. A good example is, you know, him against Lomachenko. When he was behind Joiga March, he did all that footwork. Excellent point from you, Frank. He was doing the same pivots, just like the same way that, I was playing, like, because Lomachenko was pivoting towards his front foot. He used the thing about Lomachenko, he gives you the left hands, he give you two, so he gets on the weak side, or he just pivots. But he keeps the left hand first, he throws it first. Teofimo was pivoting using his back foot, you know what I mean? So whenever Lomachenko pivot, he used to catching at the same time. If you look at the fight, Lomachenko, the first time that happened, his face actually looked surprised. He was surprised, like he was right there with him, you know what I mean?
Yep. That's
Like,
what Teofimo bragged about, which was stupid. I don't know why he bragged about that. Him and his dad said, "Yeah, we put that plan together. We knew Loma's pivot, so we out pivoted him." Like, why'd you give your game plan away?
Yeah, but once like Lomachenko showed that he can do something else other than that, on the later round,
then he was in trouble.
And his shoulder was like kind of like getting in. He was in big trouble. Like, remember his face how was at the end of the fight, all caught up, and
Yeah, Lomachenko started piecing him up. He was getting outworked, pieced up.
When you see Lomachenko, the picture, the iconic picture of Teofimo, nice picture by the way, like he's holding all the belts out of the fight. He looks like he's a Filipino man. Like his eyes are like framed. Like if you see how he actually looks, he has like big eyes. He looks like a Filipino man. Lomachenko put a number on the kid. Like,
Lomachenko just started too late. He started way too late.
Unfortunately, he started too late though. But
he gave
even
away
starting
the first
too late,
6 rounds.
Yeah, but even starting too late, I still can give it a draw. Like, Teofimo obviously won, but the scorecards, like again, they were trying to put like the just like Devin Haney scorecards. Like he swept Lomachenko, like one of those 109, 120 scores. He's like, what?
Look, man, I've watched that fight countless times, like literally, because I think it's one of the best fights I've ever seen, just from a technical standpoint. Because when like you were saying earlier, when these guys say technical, they mean running, but nobody was running in that fight. They were literally toe to toe. It just was very technical, toe to toe.
Devin Haney, Lomachenko, or
no, Lomachenko versus Teofimo Lopez. One of the best fights I've ever seen.
Hell yeah!
Technical
thing is, like,
because nobody was running.
That at the time, I respected the hell out of Teofimo Lopez, because if you remember correctly, everybody was dunking Lomachenko. Like at 135, Tank was dunking him. Devin Haney was giving excuses. He was calling out right from the hospital. He was calling out, and that's so funny though. The previous fight when Devin Haney got the WBC against Santiago, I don't know if you watched that fight. Devin Haney was fighting. If you see the whole fight, because I remember seeing the fight live, and I watched it again. I'm somebody who likes to watch the fight, mute, and then I like to hear with the bullshit ass commentary.
Right. Go ahead.
And when he was against Santiago, I think he was a Puerto Rican kid. He was the same size as Devin Haney, and Devin Haney struggled a lot against that kid. Don't get it twisted. Devin Haney, a boxer kid, but he struggled a lot, man. And oddly enough, he was the same size. And what happened after the fight? He got injured. Like his shoulder got injured. He was throwing he was throwing arm punches the whole fight. His shoulder got messed up. Devin Haney I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And that's when like he started like calling. That's when he started calling out Lomachenko. Like he was calling out Lomachenko from the hospital. Devin Haney was like a whole year out from an injury, if you remember
I
correctly.
remember that people explained the narrative that Devin Haney was trying to explain, that he was calling out Loma ducking them when they literally have the tweets when he was out, he was injured.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Salute
saying.
BBA,
Like,
salute him up. Go
that's
ahead.
what I'm saying. Like it was never an opportunity that fight happened. You know.
Oh yeah, that's just more of the Haney deception. Like I say, there's the Wilder deception, the Haney deception, the Earl Spence deception. I mean, look, man, they've been trying to hype these guys up, and you know what? I even hate saying that they're exposed because fighters take losses. So these guys, Haney, Spence, Wilder, they shouldn't be hated because they lost, but it's their fan base that cries about it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna give just the benefit of the doubt of Alvarez Spence, because he's a guy. Believe it or not, I have a lot of respect to Alvarez Spence. I just hate his fans. But Alvarez Spence, that's what I put a lot of asterisks on Crawford's victories, man. I love Crawford. Don't get it twisted. He's one of my favorites. You know, one of my favorites to watch. Technical wise, like he's really good. I'm not saying great. He's really good. At the end, he's one of my favorites to watch. I don't want to like batch him. You know what I mean? Not because I like him, but I don't want to sound just like a hater. But I put that big asterisk on that fight because if you remember, like maybe half a year before that fight, he was supposed to fight Keith Thurman at 154. So that's to give you the
but he also said he was never going to fight Keith Thurman. But go ahead.
No, yeah, but he was disdain of Keith Thurman because Keith Thurman never gave it a bone from the beginning. Because when Keith Thurman was the unified champion and Errol Spence was coming up, you know, Keith Thurman has like bigger fish to fry. You know, he had fights with Sean Porter, Ryan Garcia. You know, like I don't want to fight fucking Errol Spence for not fucking money. You crazy? And because Errol Spence is big. But anyhow, he was ready to move up to 154. You know, and the only reason he went to fight Keith Thurman is because he was the only guy who would have fought him at that weight. He was ready to drop the belts, and he make another crazy ass trip to 147 when he needed a nutritionist, quote unquote, if you know.
Right,
and,
quote unquote.
Yeah, nutritionist. Like just to get to 147. When you hear these guys like, you know, oh, I got a nutritionist, that means they're like the last fight at that weight, because they're using PEDs to get to that level, you know. Like for example, Devin Benavidez with Memo Heredia, you know. All of a sudden he don't need him anymore when he jumped to 175, right?
That's interesting. I thought that too. I thought one of the reasons Canelo didn't want to fight him, but wanted David to be as depleted as possible, is because he knows who that guy is. Like, come on, this guy Canelo Alvarez knows boxing. He knows David Benavidez is working with them.
Yeah, but also I think like David Benavidez never called like the shot like officially to Canelo, because I think he knew like Canelo would have put like some stipulation. You know what I mean? Because Canelo is also known to do that.
You're saying Canelo would have put stipulations on him?
Yeah, because Canelo is also known for that rehabilitation clause shit. He stopped doing that after a while, but he's known for that shit. He drained a whole bunch of fighters too. I mean, they say that, but even I think, was it Liam Smith or somebody said that wasn't true? Nah, he drained Cotto. He drained a couple of fighters at 160, man.
No, I thought Cotto put the rehydration clause. It was Cotto who actually did it, and then Mayweather put a rehydration clause on him. So,
no, what happened with Mayweather was he was a catchweight, but he was allowed to rehydrate whatever he wanted. But the thing is, like, the damage was already done. No, like, and the thing is, when you go like so much like low in weight, and then you try to rehydrate like overnight, it's actually worse to you. Like, it's actually, you know, like way worse. Like, you can even have like muscle tense. Muscle can be tense.
I mean, look, rehydration clauses are what they are for, right? Let's not act like we don't know. They're for an advantage.
Of course they are.
From
Of
the
course
A
they are.
side, because you can only get it if you're like the A side, right? Like Manny Pacquiao fought all his fights are pretty much well, when he moved up, they were weight
That's what I
clauses,
said.
right? They were catch weights, right? So let's not, Floyd Mayweather fought at catch weights. I'm not
I
saying it's
mean,
okay for Canelo, but it's just something in boxing, and it's for an advantage, and you're
I mean,
trying to give the other guy a disadvantage, is what it
good
is
point.
about.
Good point that you brought Pacquiao, because I also said back in the days again, I respect the shit out of Pacquiao, one of my favorites.
Yeah,
But Manny Pacquiao, he had a lot of people behind him though. Because remember when he fought De La Hoya?
yeah, of course.
So De La Hoya, just to put into perspective, you know, De La Hoya didn't fight at welterweight for like 9 years or 7 years before that fight, right?
Right, right,
And then you just want to fight at welterweight just to prove myself, like I was gonna gay ass.
right.
Because he showed up at that fight looking like a skeleton. He looked like an
Oh,
anorexic.
he was dead. He was
He
dead. He
looked
had
like
no
an anorexic
muscle.
model from, bro. He looked like the model from Balenciaga, man. Like,
Oh yeah, you just have to watch that fight. He had nothing. He was listless. He was dead. He was a dead man walking.
hell
And that's the
yeah.
same with Earl Spence. When you watch Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence, he was a dead man walking.
Bro,
Earl
you remember
Spence had
the
nothing.
one of you remember one of the press conferences when they're like arguing with somebody in the crowd and shit. If you see Errol Spence like closely, other than like he has no energy, like he looks obviously depleted. Like his skin look dry. It looks like ashy. Like his lip look like the guy. You remember Dave Chappelle, the crackhead?
Oh yeah, it was
Like he's,
fuck. What was his name? I forgot. But yeah,
man. I forgot too. Yeah, that too. But you know what I mean? Like his lip looked like mad ashy.
right, right. I remember
Man.
that.
Yeah.
Look, okay, but let's look at the other side too, though. We got to look at the other side. Is weight bullying, like that's become a thing? So David Benavidez is a weight bully. Canelo. I said it was okay for Canelo make David go up, fight at 175, and then truly kill himself to get the big money fight at 168. I was like, yeah, fuck it. If David Benavidez, because that's what it is, right? If you're shrinking down, you're trying to get an advantage. So
I'm gonna give you another point, just another theory, like that we're saying in the gym, and you actually like kind of brought that up, well, kind of sort of. It's like that was one of my trainers, right? He was saying maybe Canelo, he's trying to make Benavidez get a belt at 175. You know what I mean? And then he can, get Benavidez for the belt at 175.
yeah, Gvozdyk is trained by Eddie Reynoso, so he is a Canelo Alvarez fighter.
Yeah, both stick.
Gvozdyk. Yeah, he's a Eddie Reynoso fighter.
And people might not understand this, but he's actually ranked at 175. Benavidez, I'm talking about.
Yeah, they moved him up. He's actually the challenger. He'll be the challenger to Dimitri Bivol.
Benavidez only been campaigning at a super middleweight from 2016, 17. Before that, he was campaigning at light heavyweight. He has showed up as heavy as 180.
Of course.
Like he just moved. He basically moved down to 168.
Well, when he got with Memo Heredia, right?
Yeah, his nutritionist.
Right. Nutritionist.
Memo Heredia probably don't even know how to make a salad. He's a nutritionist, right?
Look, man, it's allegedly. I mean, it's allegedly. All these are allegations, allegations, allegedly. But the fact is that Canelo Alvarez is a smaller fighter. He's been moving up, and his biggest threat is David Benavidez. Now, you said you weren't a Canelo fan, right? Like you weren't a Canelo Alvarez fan.
No, not at all.
But you like
I respect
boxing,
him,
right?
but what? Like I respect him, but like not at all. Like
Well, who's your favorite fighter, if you don't mind me asking? Who your current fighter? I don't care about 20, 30 years ago. Like, who's your favorite current fighter?
that's the problem though. Like I don't really fuck with a lot of these new kids. I fuck with Usyk. Like I think Usyk.
Alexander Usyk.
Yeah, I like guys like they like grinders, like Alexander Usyk. I like guys like kind of sort of like fight like me. Jesse, yes, Bam Rodriguez. I like that kid. Just to know.
Oh,
like,
okay. You're a lot of Bam Rodriguez is fighting Gallo Estrada, so he has a big step up fight. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna love that fight, man. That's a fight like I wanted for years. Like I never wanted.
Definitely.
Yeah. Like Strata, man. Like I'm a huge follower of Strata, man. Like those lower weight fighters, those those are like the real fights, in my opinion.
Oh well, yeah. Look what Nui's doing, moving up, fighting all the top guys, and they're kind of forced to fight. Like Bam Rodriguez, he can't really cherry pick. He has to fight the top guys, but they're gonna say Estrada hasn't fought in like a year and a half, so there's gonna be that. So you're a fan of Bam, Usyk, and give me another fighter that you're a fan of.
I mean, not a fan, just like like actually.
Come on, man, you gotta be a fan. Like you gotta. I mean, I know we try to be unbiased or say we're not fans because that's like a hipster take. I'm just giving you the business, bro. Don't.
I got you. No, I know what you mean, but I just say like guys like like I will be a little bit biased. That's what I'm saying. I know what you mean, but like being a fan is not mentally healthy. Like fan to me is just a hater before the gestation phase.
Okay, well I'll put it this way. So are you gonna watch the Gervonta Davis fight versus Frank Martin?
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. What do you think about that fight? Are you shitting on it? Is Frank Martin a good opponent? Do you think Tank Davis deserves to be pound for pound as they say he is?
Of course, man. Listen,
break it down. You got to break it down here. Frank Bay, we don't let you get away with just saying,
you put me, you put me behind, against the wall, man. I got you.
Yeah, but the hot seat, it's the hot seat.
Yeah, you put a gun on my forehead, like talk, TikTok.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a good fight. To me, it's a step of fight, a lightweight for Tank, just because he's like the second natural lightweight he ever fought.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like everybody else has been like, Hector Luis Garcia, he's one of my boys. We actually came up together in the amateurs. I know him for a long time, so I know his career. Bob Santos is one of my guys too.
Okay.
But he wasn't a Bob Santos fighter. He was a Salas fighter. Those gyms are in war, by the way. Anyhow, they like steal each other's fighters like all the time. So Hector Luis Garcia, he's a natural featherweight. He got the chance at 130 for one title or whatever. He was a light replacement as well. So that's how he got the title at 130. He's a 126 fighter. So he's 126 to 135 is is what two divisions.
Yeah.
So there you go. Then Gamboa, everybody knows Gamboa is not a natural lightweight. The reason he was campaigning a lightweight is like I think he got locked up for a while because he whooped his wife's ass before the Crawford fight. Yeah, that's why he got the Crawford fight. He needed the money. Yeah. That's another natural lightweight. Okay, he couldn't knock them out. By the way, he went all 12 with Gamboa.
Do you think Tank Davis is a hype job? Is he another?
I don't think he's a hype job. Well, not a hype job in the sense of like like Devin Haney and all those guys. Like I think he has talent. Yeah, I actually do. Like between all those guys, like that crop of that generation, I think he's the most talented. I think Devin Haney is the hardest worker. Teofimo is the most accomplished. And,
Yep. And Ryan has the best win, right? I think those were the four. Ryan,
Ryan is the most gifted. Like he just dumb.
That's an excellent point. Yes, I always thought he was the most gifted. That's interesting that you say that because most people think he's a C-level fighter.
Yeah, right. Here's the thing, though. I think you were there where I think I was arguing back and forth with he's called the Benavides boyfriend online. What's his name?
Mirage.
Yeah. I love Mirage.
Oh my god.
I like him. Other than his Benavides points, I like him. Not that ass, I like him.
Okay, hey, to each his own, right?
No, because the thing is, how we imagine conversations online, I feel like I'm in a barbershop and we're just talking shit. So I don't really like see him like, we met guys like that before. Like he's not, he's not outrageous. And I think when he gets drunk, he starts talking shit. But anyhow, we were talking about Munguia, Munguia, right?
I'm a Munguia.
Yeah, he was saying like the whole argument is like, I thought Munguia was better than Andrade, just because he won Andrade to look better as a victory for Benavides, right?
Right.
We know that we know that was his whole point, right?
Yes.
He was saying this guy's defense was better. Andrade's defense was better than Munguia's, right? And I don't think so, because at the end of the day, you have to go through his punches to get to him, and his offense is his own defense. Like he's a guy like you don't want to get into a war with. Yeah, what happened with Ryder when he get into a war with? He got knocked out.
Yep.
What happened with Gabriel Rosado? He got hurt and almost stopped. What happened to Derevyanchenko? He hurt him a couple of times when he got into a war. So he's not a guy like you're just gonna go there and like spoken. I know what you mean. I know what he meant. Like I didn't refute his point, but the whole point is I think Munguia and Ryan Garcia, they kind of sort of the same fighter, but I still put Ryan Garcia as more gifted. It's just because how blasted his hand speed are and his length, his natural length. And believe it or not, he's an actually good boxer. He's just stupid. Like he's a guy who has like everything going outside. Yeah,
he's good, but he's stupid.
Yeah, he's just stupid.
I don't think he's stupid. I think he's actually probably pretty intelligent because like he's made the most out of his career. I think he's just maybe he really has ADHD. Like he's just
no, that's an excuse, man. That's an excuse.
Okay,
like,
ADHD that's not an excuse.
To me,
people can really have a disability. I don't know if it's a disability. ADHD is just I don't think it's a disability
disorder. No, it's an attention spectrum disorder, but. That's an excuse that they give kids nowadays just not make them feel stupid, but they actually stupid because the short attention span, they cannot live without a phone. You know what I mean? Even their music is a reflection of it. Like everything has to happen every half a second. Like
it's called it's called something. Jeez, I draw a blank when you said it.
There is a news music now that sounds gay as fuck.
It's just lack of patience. They just have no patience. Yeah. They can't wait for anything.
Exactly.
It's called instant gratification. Exactly. People want to be instantly gratified, and that's not anything worth anything. Takes time and patience, and that's what Ryan says though. But he admits it though, right? He says he doesn't have the patience. That's why he said when in the Tank Davis fight, he threw the game plan out the window because he got bored.
Listen, Frank,
that's crazy.
If you don't know how to follow simple instructions. If you don't know how to read a manual and follow, simple instructions, you order, I don't know, a coffee table from Amazon, and you have to build it,
Yeah.
You just have to open the little, 3 or 4 pages instructions that they have, or maybe just one, and just follow instructions, right? Like,
right.
Ryan Garcia doesn't strike me like somebody who is good following instructions. You know what I mean?
Well, he admits it. He says no, he doesn't. He doesn't listen to anybody. He can't. He says he literally lacks focus.
But he lacks focus because you have. I understand kind of his point because it's like he's making a lot of fucking money at this early age. So because I think his mind is like, I see more money, I see more money than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's his attitude. Yeah.
Like for example, like I
go
know
ahead.
for a fact, that Devin Haney, he will be forced to take a Ryan Garcia rematch because he's gonna run out of options. Nobody's gonna pay him the money he's gonna ask anymore.
Yeah.
At 140, other than Ryan Garcia, because Ryan Garcia will be like his safest option other than Sergeant Martin, if you think about it.
The Santa Martin fight is pointless. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to buy it. It just is what it is.
Yeah, but he just can't request. He can't just ask for the money he always asks. You know, like
right
that particular fight. You know what I mean? So it will go. It will probably go to purse bid. You know what I mean? Because the fight has to be done. Because when it's not mandatory shit like that, they go to purse bid. Oh, by the way, that's how you know Andrade is such a shitty fighter, man. He went his entire life as a purse bid.
Oh,
that's why he couldn't line all of the fucking fights. Yeah, that's why he couldn't line all the fucking fights. Bro, when you the WBO or the IBF, you had mandatory up your ass. Like
that's a good point. So have you been following the Ryan Garcia saga? Because that was kind of the thing today. Canelo, what's his next opponent?
I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like from the
be honest.
I always thought that even the positive and all that, to me was still like a clown show from the Garcia clan.
Okay,
you know what I mean? He got punished, right? He got suspended for like what, 6 months, 4 months, or some shit.
Who?
Like this Ryan Garcia.
He hasn't been suspended yet.
Yeah, I think he would. I think that's like because the thing is the only two punishment they're gonna do with this kid. They're gonna ban him, and they're gonna fine him.
Well, but that's what I'm asking you, and I'm asking the fans. You know, people on my chat, like, comment, subscribe, hit the kid with the let's show him what's up with the super cash app. That's the thing. Do you think he cheated? That's my comment and question.
I don't think he did. Like, I don't really, because that's the thing though. Like, Ryan Garcia himself, I don't really think he thought he wouldn't win the fight. But it's just like the build up. I think he got like more and more into the fight, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And some of the shit like Haney was saying, like, you know, actually got him like the confidence, you know, when he was like, oh, you're not gonna beat me in the middle. Like, bro, you don't want trade with a puncher, dog.
So you
like,
think it was? You think that it was the mind games, the mental games was really a big part of this fight? You're saying that Ryan really didn't believe that he would win, but all the shenanigans.
Even in the ring, I don't really think he believed he was about to win, because I think he noticed that. Remember when Devin Haney landed like the first leaping hook? You know how like Garcia stepping back, everybody say, oh, he hurt him. Like, nah, he didn't hurt him. Garcia was just surprised.
Right.
I think after that he noticed that he couldn't hurt him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why, like, I think that's when he noticed, like, okay, this guy can hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a big point in a fight, right? If you one of the things that Floyd Mayweather always said is that if you remember, Floyd got rocked against Shane Mosley, but I remember I've heard this from fighters. They really want to feel a guy's punch. They want to see if the guy can hurt him. So they will actually stand in the first 2 rounds and try to take a guy's best punch. I don't know if that's a good strategy, but I think it's important. I think you want to take his best punch early so that you decide mentally, can I stand here with them?
Mayweather is one of those guys, like, he don't want to necessarily be hit by your best punch, but he wants you to throw your best punch a couple of times. So
there you go. So he'll give you that target to do it.
No, yeah, but he also trying to nullify it, but he wants to see how fast and how how long is your punch.
No, you know who did that a lot was Tito Trinidad. He would get rocked early and even dropped.
Oh no!
And then he would.
You're into a fight with Tito Trinidad if you drop him. He's gonna knock your ass out. Like, That's
Yeah,
what
but
happened
he
with
would take your best shot, and then he gets up, and then it's over. Like he felt he in mentally or physically, in the fight, he's like, okay, I can take it. This guy's not gonna hurt me. Now it's over. I'm just gonna walk you down and punch your lights out.
yeah, that and like a lot of time was like flash knockdowns.
Right, right.
Steven,
I haven't heard
had a head
anybody
of a
say
chin
that.
though. No, yeah,
You,
but
yeah, you gotta have a chin.
no, yeah, but he was
Ryan did
getting
get
dropped.
dropped. Yeah, Ryan got dropped by Luke Campbell, but then he got up. People had said that he got dropped by Luke Campbell.
Yeah, but
He
that was
got
a
up.
flash knockdown. It was a flash knockdown. It wasn't really
I don't know
hurt.
if he got hit pretty hard in that fight.
Like, yeah, but the same round, that's like when he started like to put it on Luke Campbell. He wasn't running at any time about the fight. Like
Yeah.
the thing about Ryan Garcia, and that's something that Devin Haney happened to Devin Haney, but it happened different to Devin Haney because he actually was hurt. But the thing about it, if you notice on the fight, he extended his arms. Ryan Garcia, I'm talking about, against Luke Campbell, because he is already used to fighting the smaller guys. So when you extend your hands against somebody, it's obviously smaller than you. You just have to like extend your hands and step back. But when somebody is the same size as you, aka Ryan Garcia, against Devin Haney left hook, you can get away with it. Because a lot of the Devin Haney do is pull on a straight line.
Yeah, he just pulled back, and he wasn't ready for it.
And this kid does that as well. What's his name? Shakur Stevenson. He can't get away from a right hand to save his life.
I noticed that too. That's one of the biggest things in gyms they teach you is not to pull straight back. That's one of the biggest things you have to break from a new fighter is that your natural reaction is like pull back, but I mean you're still in the line of fire. And if a guy keeps punching, you're gonna get knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. And guys like Shakur Stevenson, they don't really have a guard. They have an active guard. Like they don't really have like a shoulder roll. That's a mid guard. No,
Valdez was landing the
true.
right. Okay.
Either Teofimo or what's his name or Shakur does shoulder roll. That's a mid guard. That's why they always get into the position of like a cross guard, like by accident sometimes. Because you can literally just bring like your arms up and that's a cross guard. Well, on the shoulder roll, you have like your lead hand underneath your elbow pretty much, so you can like snap it.
Yeah, Ryan
well,
Garcia, he had the speed and power, like you said. Devin Haney reached his arms out. I hadn't even figured, I didn't never heard anybody mention that, but yeah, he's used to kind of putting his arms out and pushing off. Like that's how he bullied Cambozo, and I think that's just habit. So he did it against Ryan and paid for it. And that's one of the things we said is that he's never fought someone his size.
Even his fucking jab was overrated, man. Like, I'm not trying to like shit over Devin Haney, God bless him. Streaming hard.
Shit on him. I'm gonna shit on him. Fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. He's weak ass stepping jab, because that's his whole game. Everybody, he has like one of the greatest jabs. No, motherfucker, that can stepping jab. After the third round, it's not working anymore. Look at Linares, how you know what I mean? Like, it's a stepping jab. Because the thing about Devin Haney also, he stepped with all these fucking punches. That's why he always get into the clinching thing, because he crowd his own work.
That's what they talk about, right? Crowding your work, not being able to measure distance correctly.
So after he got hit a couple of times against Garcia, he didn't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like he knew he couldn't do he couldn't clinch, and he couldn't, do his bullshit of like clinching and shit. Because Ryan Garcia was a bigger, stronger guy. And again, Ryan Garcia didn't do nothing technical on that fight. He just he just whooped his ass. Like
he wasn't necessarily boxing. He was standing. He took a lot of time off You know what changed the fight was that first round. You know when he landed that hook, that kind of changed everything. And then, like you said,
Dog.
when he finally ate Devin Haney's best punch, and then Ryan was like, "Yeah, come on." It kind of changed
Bro.
everything, man.
Nah, and if you see Devin Haney's face after that, he was just like shy, you know. He looked like one of those kids, like when their parents are like chastising, like,
Yeah,
like and Ryan Garcia was not like. That's the thing though, like that's why I said he didn't cheat because he was barely on like 12 round shape. If you look at the 11 and 12th round, Ryan Garcia was gassed out. He started clowning Devin Haney, but he was trying to hide like he couldn't even lift his fucking gloves.
yep. He was gassed. He was definitely gassed. And that's the other thing about the cheating. I said, man, if he was cheating, couldn't he have cheated a little bit better? Like I would think you'd be juiced to the max and like have super strength, and nothing could hurt you. But he definitely was not.
Yeah, but Devin Haney, bro, like he fucked up, bro. He fucked up because I think he was hoping to win the lawsuit. He was hoping to do like the same thing that like Badu Jack did in 2019 or something like that. But the difference was his opponent popped for Austrian, but it was a draw. You know what I mean? So it was like anybody's fight. So from a but I think they ruled it at the end like a non-contest or something like that. Cause it was like bananas, like now, like we can do reverses, and I think Devin Haney, he knows he looks weak because now he couldn't proceed with his lawsuit. To get his old back, his donut back, his asshole back, and now he's gonna look weak. So he's gonna be forced to like take, like the most dangerous fight he can get. Like he's forced to do that shit, and since they live by like under the standards of like they call the best or whatever, like they're gonna be forced to do something extremely risky and stupid. But they talk too much shit. And I'm happy for it, I'm extremely happy.
It was an exciting fight, man. People really got behind it, and like you said, it's just so weak for Devin Haney to look. Okay, Ryan cheated. He popped dirty. I don't think it's cheating, but to try to say that was the reason, I don't think anybody believes that. I think he just got his ass kicked. And like you said, it's just such a weak move. Like you're supposed to be this top level talent. You want your O
from
back?
The boxing world. Yeah, he lost respect
Yeah,
from the boxing world.
I want my O back. Like, no, you lost. You got your ass kicked.
I would respect him more if he got his ass whooped. I'm gonna be like, okay, let's just run it back. I throw a lot of bullshit. Be like, oh, but you have to be tested. Extra or whatever. And the thing is, he also got like his biggest purse. He got like 25 million of this fight or some shit, or 30 million.
I mean, that's what they said. I don't know if it was that much. That could be rumors.
I think it's true because Ryan Garcia, bro, that she was like a million plus of pay-per-views, and that's another reason that I want to see the Frank Martin Tank fight, because I want to see how many pay-per-views they're gonna do. Usually, I don't care about none of the bullshit, but because to me that's like like nonsensical to me. Like I don't care how many fights these guys do. I really don't. Like it's just meaningless.
Yeah, we don't see the money, but I think it's important because it helps set up the next fight. So like if Ryan wants a Tank Davis fight, and let's say Tank Davis pay-per-view flops, then that'll help Ryan get the fight, because Tank Davis will realize, like, if I want to make the kind of money that I want, then I have to fight this guy.
Frank, let's be honest. We know it's gonna flop.
Okay,
like,
yeah, no, I know. You're absolutely 100% correct. I know, but in terms of Tank Davis because he'll be forced to fight Ryan Garcia, and he'll be forced to have to meet Ryan Garcia's demands. Like Ryan Garcia was forced to meet Tank Davis' demands because Tank Davis was the A side. But if Tank Davis flops, then he'll be forced to either duck Ryan or meet Ryan's demands. Because Oscar already said, if you want to fight Ryan, he's the money man, but you're gonna meet our demands.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we'll truly see if Tank Davis is this elite pound for pound fighter like they say he is. Because if he doesn't meet Ryan's demands, then he's ducking. But I mean, I don't know if it's a duck because he did beat Ryan, but we know Ryan was weight drained, and there was a not only was it a catch weight, but it was a rehydration pause, and Ryan was dead.
Bro, Ryan looked like a like a crackhead kid over there, man.
He did.
Horrible.
They showed the pictures. The difference between him and Devin Haney, the Devin Haney fight. Well, yeah, he was dead. He was just like we were saying earlier, dead man walking. And I hope that's what Canelo does to Benavidez. I really hope he has Benavidez like walking in like a zombie.
Man, the first image that came to my mind when I saw him on the Tank fight, the first thing came into my mind was Pacquiao against De La Hoya. That's the first thing came to my mind. I even thought like it was gonna go like the same way, like Ryan Garcia quitting on the stool sign.
Yeah, you know they say Ryan quit. I mean he got knocked down in the second round, right? He took his best shot and he got back up.
People that say he quit is people that they like they're casuals. People that never been hit by a body punch. Bro, when you get hit on your fucking liver, especially that drain, like nah, bro, like your legs are gone. Even if you were stand up, it would get knocked out. Like,
yeah, and they said that Ryan had a broken rib. He got hurt in sparring, and there was a mole in his camp. So Tank Davis knew this.
That's another thing, man. Like, right? Like, bro, you need all that fucking shit for a fucking prospect. Are you kidding me? Like, I get it, but that's another testimony how dangerous really Ryan Garcia is. Like how much they respect this flaming cigarette butt.
Oh, you say Ryan's a flaming cigarette butt?
Of course he does.
Oh man, the slander. That's hilarious.
Bro, if you see any of his videos in mute, you're gonna get what I'm saying.
No, I've seen his videos. I think Ryan's a clown. Like he's definitely a clown. He's not a clown. He's a goofball. I think he's just goofy.
He's a cornball. Yeah.
He's corny. He's a cornball, and he appeals to Gen Zers that are cornball. Right? These guys. He's the TikToker. He really is a TikToker.
He appeals to like the Jonosavos. I don't know if you know what I mean. Like, I think
what?
Jonosavo is a guy who always run up front like he's from he's from Mexico. But
you'll have to drop the link in the Discord. I'll check it out.
He's a guy like gonna act like he's Mexican, but he don't speak Spanish, so he don't really understand the culture. So you're not Mexican.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. That's Ryan. Yeah, he's from Victorville. He's from Victorville. He hangs around with TikTokers. But what does that say about Davina Hankey? He got beat by a TikToker. And that's what he said. Ryan's a C-level guy. He's a TikToker. And he got his ass kicked by a TikToker.
And that's like the worst part, man. Bro, I'm telling you, Devin Haney, man, he's good. Bro, I truly believe he gonna get stripped by his belt. Just because he don't want to fight. He don't want to get the fight, man. Because also like he just got a lot of fucking money. He don't want to get paid like $2 million again. You know what I mean? Like he just got paid like $30 million or some shit. Like he don't want to fight for like $3 million. Like get his ass whoop again for like for trash money. Like nah, and now he's gonna be becoming from like the A side. I mean from the B side in a lot of fights. Because it's like, bro, Ryan Garcia, a guy who doesn't even take boxing seriously, whoop your ass. Not even with technical shit. Nah, he just walk into the ring and whoop your ass. You didn't even put a dent on this guy, bro.
He didn't, right? It was an ass whooping. Like
You're
He
right.
wasn't
didn't
asked,
turn up.
bro. Ryan Garcia went to town, New York, after that fight to a fucking nightclub. Like he was fine. Devin Haney went to the hospital.
For like a broken jaw or suspected broken jaw.
Also the concussion, because you're supposed to go when when you get hit a couple times. They all have to go. But the thing is, just because of the damage they've been getting out and how swollen his face was, he had to go. They're saying he's has to the Presbyterian. I work in a hospital. I work at HSS, Hospital of Special Surgery, and the Presbyterian right next to my hospital. They're saying he's has to that hospital. Like I know the nurse who took care of his ass over there.
Oh shit! Damn.
Yeah. No, because I do IT, so no, because I do IT, so like I pretty much take care of like 8,000 users, 10,000 users, and and the nurse is like somebody like I actually know. Like I'm like the private IT tech for like his doctor, because I also like hustle like some side jobs inside of the hospital.
Yeah, and then he was on like ESPN crying, like within what was he saying on ESPN? Oh, I don't know what this guy's capable of, and he doesn't want to rematch.
Like Ryan Garcia is like Lex Luthor, right? Like
That's kind of funny, yeah. All right.
Like, all of a sudden, like Ryan Garcia is some Machiavellian dude or some shit, right? Like.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, right? Because Devin Haney was saying he's crazy, he's not gonna make it to the fight. Just a lot of talking shit. Look, man, why is Devin Haney crying? Like
if you
he
heard
was talking
somebody,
shit.
If you heard somebody saying the stuff that said on that interview, and you don't know who the guy is, wouldn't you say he's scared?
More than scared, he's terrified. It's like he was what is it like he was kidnapped and held hostage.
And listen, he's the only guy who's gonna be beneficiary of a rematch, because if you win, you get your name back.
I mean, look, man, when was the last time you've seen a fighter do boxing? Have you ever seen this? I've never seen this. A guy gets his ass whooped. I've never seen a guy come off like he was on an Oprah Winfrey special talking about he was taken advantage of. You know how like these women, they get on and it's like Maury Povich. Yes, he took me to the room and drugged me, and I can never walk the streets again. Right? He's just like, what the hell?
I'm afraid of Mexican guys now.
Right.
Everywhere I look, I see his face. I'll never be the same.
Every time I see a taco, I pee myself.
Yeah. He said every time I see a taco, I pee myself. Damn, that's crazy.
I don't know. I bet Ryan Garcia doesn't eat.
Yeah.
I bet Ryan Garcia doesn't even eat tacos. Like
straight up, yeah. Ryan Garcia gave him PTSD. This fool may never step in the ring again. The way he's talking, like,
bruh, I even have a video. I'll probably send it to you to Discord. That I recorded it, right? You know when they do like the tail of the tape, like they show like their stats. If you look at Ryan Garcia's face, he's doing that girly selfie duck face. It was fun as hell because I was like, yo, you got your ass whooped by this guy.
This guy, right? And dude, I heard his fans crying. I swear, I was listening to a YouTube channel, and they're all Devin Haney apologists, and they were literally crying. This is what they said. They said, and he took a beer on stage. How dare he? He drank a beer. Like, they were crying about him drinking a beer. They literally. Go ahead.
What would have happened if they wouldn't see Mayorga smoking and taking shots?
Oh my gosh! You know what? If that fight had happened now, the same thing probably would have happened, right? Vernon Forrest fans, they'd have been Devin Haney fans and been like, "How dare he? It's so disrespectful."
Nah, because they were trying to be like the clean cut guys. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to like pull that off. If you remember, he all of a sudden, Bill Haney, a wearing hoodie, black dude, he was like, all of a sudden like showed up with slacks,
Oh yeah, he's when
he
they're
looked
on
he looked like
trial, he's got glasses on.
he actually looked like
and a
like an actual
notepad.
pimp. Yeah, he shades on. But he actually looks like an actual pimp.
No, and dude, we've never seen this in boxing. I've never seen this. I'm trying to think of the closest thing I've ever seen to somebody going on ESPN and crying about another guy beating his ass.
You're not gonna see that, dog. You're not gonna see that. Like, bro, he's a Gen Zer and plus he's from California. Like, you got the two most annoying shit ever.
I'm
Like,
in Cali, bro. I'm from Cali. What do you mean, Jose?
no, but you know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean.
I know.
It's like
Yeah.
it's like if you're from New York, like everybody will think like you're like a rude guy, like out of your mind, screaming you from Brooklyn. I'm from New York. Like everybody would think you're like,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
imagines
No,
somebody
I
working
get
with Tim's. Yeah. But what I mean is like from Los Angeles. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I
No,
don't
I
really
get
think
it. I get it, dude. It's no harm, no foul. It's like this. If you're upset, it's because the shoe fits. I know it doesn't apply to me, but I get it. I get it.
No, you sound like a stable-minded dude. I don't sense blue hair from you.
Blue hair and a nose ring, a freaking nose ring and tongue ring.
Listen, there is only one way to get your hair dyed. You dip your head into a sink, or you put a towel like around your shoulders, and they put your head back into like a sink too.
Right. And then you start dancing.
And you I don't know what type of salon is that. But yeah, like this is
Yeah,
like the most
Devin
mentally
Haney is embarrassing.
It's like the woke culture. You trying to be against it, woke and like clean cut at the same time. Like, nah, bro. Like
it doesn't mesh. It doesn't. You know what it's called? It's called being incongruent. I remember one time I was working, and and no disrespect to Indian people, right? But I guess in their culture, they wave their finger. You ever see them? They wave their finger.
Mm-hmm.
And he was trying to explain something to me and saying yes, but he was waving his finger, and it was like incongruent. I was like, bro, are you telling me no? He's like, no, I'm trying to agree with you, but it threw me off because he was his body language wasn't matching his words.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're talking, but they don't really mean it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's something off, and you don't believe them. You don't buy what they're telling you, and that's the Devin Haney thing. Is he comes across as like he's for the culture, hip hop. He's hanging with the rappers. He's going to the ring with rappers, and then he's also crying on TV.
But remember, he's also Muslim.
And then supposedly he's Muslim.
That's another thing, bro. Let me remember
ahead.
that shit. That was another throwaway. I remember when the whole like fiasco. To me, this is how we gonna call this? Austrian Gate, Hulk Gate. How we gonna call this?
Yeah, I know. We should call it Austrian Gate. I think that's what it is. Hulk Gate.
Like people don't understand this. Like after a while, bro, this would be like a mark in boxing. Everybody will remember this shit, man. Everybody will remember this shit.
Well, that's why I brought it up, because even if Tank Davis is fighting, nobody cares about it. Everybody's talking about Ryan Garcia and his failed drug test, or allegedly.
Yeah, but it was proved it was contamination, and oddly enough, the supplement that he sent, they're known not because having those type of like illegal substances, but the combination of this and that, this molecule here and there, it comes off as positive, even though you don't have like the actual substance in your body. It's just the combination of those things come off as like they're doing the same thing. Because if you, the thing that he consumed was like super carb, which is to rehydrate yourself. It's like a better version of a Gatorade. You know what I mean?
Okay. Like that's the science.
Yeah, like it's carbs, sodium, magnesium,
and a whole bunch of like vials of vitamins and like branched amino acids. Like you're gonna have like those things in one drink. But it's actually good to like rehydrate yourself after a workout. Those like post-workout things, like, and those particular things they kind of like illegal, but I don't really think the brand was like illegal in the list of things that they couldn't consume. But that's like the thing that came positive. If you remember correctly, it came back positive after the weigh-in. I mean, the day before the fight, which is the weigh-in, the day of the weigh-in, and on the weigh-in. I mean, and on the night of the fight, which it makes sense. You took that shit after the weigh-in to rehydrate, and you come up positive. Or doing the weigh-in, and came up positive. To rehydrate.
Yeah, and that's my whole thing is that they're saying he popped dirty, but they're trying to say he cheated, and I'm like,
remember,
what did he cheat?
He has to drink at least like a little and a half to like be actually like hydrated, and it's gonna come in big amounts when you're drinking a lot. You know what I mean?
Right, but the simple science of it, like I'm not a drug expert. I don't know much about these things,
I
but just
thought
kind of.
yo, for a second I thought you were about to say, I'm not a drug addict.
I'm not a drug expert. I mean,
It's not.
what if I said I am a drug expert? I'm a drug expert because I use them. Not Frank Bay does not advocate drug use. Do not use drugs, children, fellows. Okay, but let's look at it simplistically, right? Let's try to be like children. Let's say he did cheat, right? Let's just say he's guilty and cheated. My thing is, what did he cheat with? What did he actually have in his system? He had this drug that didn't do anything for him. That's the science. That the amount that he had was never going to make a difference.
Even the amount, just at the time, positive. It doesn't really give you the time frame to like give you any benefits.
Well, but the time frame is no. It's like trying to find the what is it that when you is it algebra where you do the x and the y, right? You try to find the axis, right?
The next
you break it. You break it down logically, right? Yeah. If he was cheating, he would have been. So how effective is this drug testing then, right? Let's call that into question. How effective is it if that he was cycling or cheating that they didn't catch it?
You're right, man. It's kind of shady because it's like you just want us to know he was positive. You know what I mean?
But how effective is this drug testing if he passed all the other 4 tests and they catch him the last day, and then the amount that they had and the drug that they had really was insignificant? There just wasn't enough to prove that he was.
It was another test. It was another testing as well. How like the Haney's overstaying the welcome in the boxing world, because if you peep, they were actually trying to like, even let's say like they contaminated all that shit, right? Like it's even though I don't think so, but let's say like they just took the chance, like to like make this a big deal or whatever.
You sound kind of far. I'm sorry, amigo. You sound kind of far away. You gotta speak up more.
That sound better now?
There you go. Yeah, much better.
Yeah, it's just like I'm walking around my house.
That's okay.
Yeah, like it was a big testing on how so they overstayed the welcome. I'm not gonna give you the reason why, because they were trying to like take the story to like portray themselves as the victim, right? Pick favorite between, because they thought like they were actually like had a favoritism in the boxing world, but the boxing world actually picked Garcia, one because he's generating the most money, and two, he's most famous than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you don't really bring anything into the boxing world. Like you don't bring sponsors, all than the big two content, and C4 is more like overall boxing. By the way, that's poison. Don't drink that, kids. Like that workout is poison.
Right.
Just and Ryan Garcia is giving you Gatorade. Actual artists coming into the fight.
hella pay-per-views. You know what I mean? Like he's the guy now
Yep.
with the biggest name, other than Canelo and Joshua. Like the dude just make $50 million and with no belt on the line. Think about that.
Another point. Yep. No, I thought about that.
And you want us, you know, the station, you know, the boxing world, you know, take this guy out because of Devin Haney, a guy who only costs money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other than Mauricio and his deal, because that's another thing though. He has a deal with Mauricio that he gives 3 to 5% of his purses. He gives I think it was like 12 or 15% of his purses. That's why he's so favorite with Mauricio Suleiman. You know what I mean?
He just gets a cut like a fucking pimp, huh? Like what the hell, dude?
There you go.
Wow. That, you know what, that's what's crazy about boxing is it is corrupt. You know, we have to be honest and realize how corrupt it is.
Think about this, Frank. The WBO, I think I mentioned this in another channel. I Thunderdome too. Like that's one of my guys, Thunderdome. The WBO is the only belt where you move up. It's the only one who guarantee you a spot, you know, to fight a champion on your next weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
the thing is, like, the WBO, like on the mid 2000s, they want to be, you know, they were like, you know, for the lack of a better term, they were sucking off everybody to, like, you know, pick us, you know, to championship belts. They give that all the benefits to the fighters, anyhow. So Devin Haney has all the belts, right? And he's not a mandatory for the WBO, just like Crawford was when he moved up from 140 to 147. You know, when he fought what's his name, Jeff Horn, right? Devin Haney moves up, and he's not for the WBO belt for Teofimo Lopez. All of a sudden, he's a WBC for who? For Regis Prograis belt. All of a sudden, you know, the WBC never has that rule. When you moved up, you buy your own with the WBC. They may give you like a silver belt, something like that, to fight like in a tournament, but then move you straight to the championship belt. You know, because that's like when, you know, the press bit comes in and shit. The Navarrete, he only been WBO belts, if you think about it. You know,
right? They're aligned with certain fighters and organizations.
But Devin Haney, to avoid the Teofimo fight, because he don't want nothing with that fight from the beginning.
I've seen that. Yep.
You know, because that's the belt that will give you the guaranteed spot. All of a sudden, it's the WBC who give you the spot when you move up for Regis Prograis. When Regis Prograis just gave a mandatory before like the 6-month thing, and you already fighting him for his belt. Are you kidding me? The WBC doesn't have to satisfy a mandatory unless they're like 11 or 12 months or some shit. But all of a sudden, you know, Devin Haney, he's the #1 for your belt, right?
Yeah, and he applied to try to fight for the WBO, and I think it was because Teo had said he was going to retire, and then Barboza was going to be elevated. So Devin Haney tried to angle to fight Barboza, and then Teofimo said, "Psych, bitch, I'm not retired. I'm the champion. You're going to fight me." And then he was like, "Nope, I'm going to the WBC route."
Man, when Cambosos beat Teofimo, bro, Devin Haney acted like, you know, his firstborn was born. Son. Like,
they did. They had a champagne party. They were like glazing.
Oh, he was running around the house, man. I was like
yeah, they were dancing. Like him and his dad were dancing, like holding hands, dancing. It was pretty gross.
Khalifa was like watching the election when Obama won. He like it sounded like he stepped like Obama. Oh God, man. That's what I'm saying.
Devin Haney is a fraud, dude. He's been a fraud. We knew he was a fraud. And then he goes on. Why would you go on TV and just cry, like Ryan Garcia like touched you? He says Ryan touched me in certain ways I didn't appreciate.
Yeah, because he's delusional. That's why. Again, he thinks he's Mayweather. He talks like
they
Mayweather.
Wanted him. Like... I believe they wanted him to be. And
this is so funny though. Talking about that shit. that all of a sudden, Bill Haney is talking back to Mayweather and all this, and
Yeah, I
that's the
seen
thing though.
that
Like
too.
Mayweather, I don't think Mayweather don't take him seriously because like, bro, I'm gonna be
He
hitting
chose
you for
Tank
what?
Davis.
No, not even that.
Mayweather
It's
chose Tank Davis, not Devin Haney,
bro. Nobody wanted to give this kid a bone,
except Mauricio Suleiman, who helped guide
and
his
Eddie Hearn
career,
and Eddie Hearn. Let's
and
not
Eddie
forget about
Hearn.
Eddie Hearn. Because here's the thing though, it was everything was like everything was lying for the stars for this kid. He was getting
Yep.
the overpaid purses from Matchroom at the time, right? Matchroom was giving like borderline $10 million for every single fucking fight, right? He was giving Mikey Garcia 7 million for Jesse Rodriguez, and he was giving Devin Haney 5 to 4 million for every single fight, right? For fight Gamboa, to fight Jojo Diaz, to fight Linares, he was getting paid, like one of the barons, right? And who else was behind him? The WBC was getting those purses, right? Those
Yeah.
sanctioning fees from them. He's those gigantic sanctioning fees from Devin Haney, and that's like one of the extra help he had, like on those times. So he was getting overpaid, and at the same time was getting stipends to the WBC. So the WBC, if you put it by numbers, they were getting more money from Devin Haney than let's say like Canelo. Because Canelo only
Yeah,
gonna
and
give you
that's
the
with his
3%.
dad's
Because
help.
Canelo is like I give him 3% to like everybody else,
Hmm.
And the thing about Devin Haney, the WBC belt, they prefer somebody with a country behind him holding it. And it's no disrespect, but he don't represent America.
No, that's valid. We know that.
So the only reason Mauricio loves you that so goddamn much is because of you giving that money to him, and that's why he always gonna be behind Tyson Fury as well. And anybody who's giving like extreme amount of money to him.
Well, that's how it works. I mean, that's literally what the belts are for, is to get paid off fighters. And what's gonna help more is his name. That's what makes sense, and that's why Canelo Alvarez, the IBF is gonna strip him, is because they, I don't know, for some reason they want to break the division up. Maybe they want to give somebody else a belt, whoever is with the IBF.
No, the thing about the IBF is they always been butthurt about That was been butthurt about like everybody's been getting like sanctioning fees like up the ass by us, so they always want to like implying like the mandatory whenever it fits them. Also, like they got sued a couple of years ago, so like they actually have to like follow up with their. They're trying to avoid to be sued again.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
But I
but the
gotta wrap
IBF,
it up.
but the IBF
Oh
is like
yeah,
the
yeah.
most. The IBF is the most respectable, belt among all of them. Because the thing is, it's like as they call it, it's like the humble route belt. Because you have to take, a couple of belts like the NF whatever belt, like like Teofimo, he was beating like you got to grab like certain belts before you get the IBF belt. Like you need to be like the best in your division, the best in the country, and then you get the IBF. And it's like
There's a process. There's a way to
that
move up the ranks.
that and it's still like the most like weight friendly belt. If you think about it, that's the belt that makes everybody moved up because you cannot rehydrate more than 10 pounds in that particular section in body.
And I've seen guys duck fights because of that. But
Yeah,
Jose, right?
so
Did you go by Jose?
yeah.
Jose, right? My bad, homie. Man, you gotta join more often, man. This is the first time, but I'm gonna wrap it up. We've been on
Yeah,
here for a minute. I appreciate it, man. You know your boxing, bro. I give you that.
Man, thank you, man. You know your shit too, man. I appreciate it, man. I'm doing like
Man,
more
I
into
just go
like
with rumors and lies. I try to keep it spicy.
I mean, listen, not because I hear stuff in the gym that makes them true, and not because I box that makes me like my point like better than
Well, no,
everybody else. Like, I
one
respect
thing
everybody's
is
opinion.
there's the internet and then there's real life. Like if you're in the gym, I want you, if you get on my show, you hear me when I'm live, whenever I can, hop on. And then like I want to hear what people think in the gym. Like I haven't been in the gym in like 5 years. I used to be in the gym every day, but I'm not in there anymore.
I haven't been in the gym in a minute because I'm injured. Like I have a shoulder injury. Yeah, so like that's why I've been I've been sitting my ass like over like YouTube and shit. I come off work and like whoever. Yeah, like. But I didn't know you have a channel, man. Yeah, definitely. Like I was. I will put like my notifications on whenever you go live now, and
Yeah, man, do that. Hit the like. We'll wrap it up. Who do you think Canelo should fight next, and what do you think is gonna happen with Ryan? So give your predictions.
I hope he fight Benavidez in September, and and what was the other question?
What do you think is gonna happen to Ryan?
I think he's just gonna get a slap in the wrist. These kids, since they're not really that active, he's gonna get suspended for because they were arguing about like 6 to 4 months, and I was like, man, these kids only fight like twice a year, so it's really nothing. So
Facts.
And he doesn't have like any belts, since he's been on catch weight.
Yeah, like, and he don't have any belts, right?
Yeah, and he'll be fighting like a 138, 143, 141, so he's not on any sanctioning bodies. So that's what I'm saying, like. That's why you not castigate this kid because he's making like $50 million with no belts on the line. That's crazy if you think about it.
He's a face of boxing. I always thought he could be, and then now this happened. But we'll see, man. I mean, shit, man. I mean, we'll see who Canelo fights, and we'll see what happens with Ryan.
Yeah, the old guard is phasing out too because Joshua is like his mid-30s.
Yep.
Canelo is in his slick pajamas, and
You're a Canelo hater. That's cool though.
No, I'm not a Canelo hater. Because I'm not. I just pointing that out because
No, I know, man. I usually if you're available Sunday, that's when I like to go live, like and do an extended live.
Yeah.
Sunday.
I'm done with it. Yeah, I'm.
Yeah, hop on, man. Hop on in the future.
Definitely.
Don't be a stranger.
I got you. No, I got you, man. It was a good time, man. I just subscribed. I put the notifications on, and take care, man. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna get some shout outs. What's up with Muck, Pounds, Mexican Boxing #1, Hawker Mustang, Solo Dolo, Nerd, Sergeant, I Hate Never Sobers, Not Welcome, Not. I haven't seen you in a minute. Champy, Alex Daw, yep. Hey, man, we'll see who Canelo chooses. Isaac Bermudez. We'll see who Canelo chooses. Hopefully, it's Benavidez. I support whatever he does. He's a face of boxing.
With that Berlanga fight, right? You will support that shit, huh?
I mean, come on, man. I want to see Berlanga get beat up. He talks a lot of shit. He acts like a hard ass. And
but Berlanga should be beaten by some guys with a lot of consonant in his name, like some
right, Shiskin.
Vector Bully or some shit. That's a fight I actually.
That's a banger. Yeah, man, that's a banger.
They're both flaws, and Vector Bully he jumps a lot straight. And Berlanga can catch him, and he also can catch Berlanga with a left. So that's a bomb burner,
Definitely. And then as far as Ryan Garcia goes, man, I think Jose is right. He's gonna get slapped on the wrist, and then he'll be back. Oscar looks like he's trying to put a Golden Boy top rank card together.
This guy is making, bro, like a $1 million pay-per-view.
They're just jealous. It's called jealousy, dude. Jealousy.
I don't know about jealousy. It's no high school, boy. You're just in business. Like this guy's making a lot of fucking money. You know what I mean? Like get the fuck out of here. Like Devin Haney, man. Yeah. We tried the Andrew Ward approach with you. It didn't work. So good riddance. We even tried to give you. We even tried to give you some Golovkin Canelo thing, when one judge gives the draw, so you only need the other two judges to disagree, so you have a draw. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well, Ryan's gonna be in the big fight. He's gonna, like you said, he's gonna sell pay-per-views. When I come back again, I'll talk about Tank Davis, Benavidez. But yeah, man, we're gonna get out of here. Shout out everybody. Salute. Jose come back, and we're out.
Hey, cousin,
Yeah.
is it pink?
Yeah, it's Pepto Bismol pink. Do you want to taste?
They ain't wanna see me win. I was trapping by myself. I was getting out the hood. I didn't have no help, yeah. Cause I'm really getting up, yeah. I'ma skirt off and
What are you talking about? You know?
What did you make of his comments, the Mexican thing? I didn't really understand it.
Yeah, like, well, I'm a flat-footed Mexican fighter. Look, if you're calling me a Mexican fighter, I find that as a compliment, you know?